Hello, adventurers, and welcome back to the Quiet Kanku for episode 7, I believe, of Iadithis Campaign 2. Continuing on from where we last left off, our party's delving into what is known as the Lost Lands of Mirk. How did they get there? Well, they were originally on New Hope Port, so one of them a resident, the rest traveling through, and they ended up saving a foreign dignitary from some attacking creatures, which some connections are being made now that perhaps they were creatures, if not from the lost land of Myrkalid, then creatures that may be what are currently plaguing it. But they have yet to see for sure if that's the case. But they saved this foreign dignitary from the land of Bermsley, who thanked them, but revealed that he had an artifact, which was later passed to them, that is said to be a key of a sort, a key to a vault that is holding, among other things, religious artifacts of the peoples of this land, the Tritons. They are currently heading down there with one of these Tritons named Dunless, and Dunless has asked for their help, not just in relieving the city of this artifact and getting it back to its people, but also to take down the person who has cursed them to be the way that they are, as well as the person possibly responsible for these undead, a necromancer of a sort. The party's a little split on whether they will or not, but we'll get there when we get there. But for now, they have a diving bell on the ship that they're on, captained by Syrian Blackwater, and they were told that there are some sort of air bubble type items that they can use down in the city. And Dunless will show them the way. There was some secrets revealed from certain party members last session. And seems, as of now, the party's growing a little closer with each other. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and start. You are approaching, and all of you see now, you guys wanted to approach at night, so it's dark out. All of you getting ready, grabbing your things. You got rope from the ship, among some other things. And you see now there are spires sticking up out of the water, the tops of buildings. These buildings look very cobbled together, like there was once something built that's fallen apart and been rebuilt many, many times. You can see that some of these are built out of parts of ships. Some of them just random cargo, boxes and such that have been torn down and put back together to create the walls. You can see about a dozen spires from where you are, but you don't see ground necessarily. You can see that these buildings, these spires, go down into the water and then vanish. This seems to just be the very, very top of whatever city is underneath. So, what would you all like to do?
Well, I suppose if we're all ready, we should get into this diving bell and, well, dive.
Where did Seth go?
Seth?
Has anyone seen him
Seth.
since the thing came back?
So Seth at this point
He's gone.
is still gone. During your one of the last few days, there was a sea serpent that appeared, and Seth cast a spell and vanished. Seth, you have been in this weird place where sounds are almost echoey. You hear things like you're standing there, but they're almost sound far away and a bit stretched and echoed. And then all of a sudden, there's this weird popping sound in your ears, like you just went to high altitude. And then you blink and you're standing on the deck of the ship again. And those of you that are there, Seth just appeared. He wasn't there one moment, now he is.
Hello.
You okay?
What happened? Are you harmed?
Disappeared.
Houdini. You look freaked.
Was this intentional?
was in a weird place.
Describe it, please.
I don't know how to describe help.
It was basically you were on the ship, but everything, it was almost like there was a very, like an impenetrable fog around you.
Like you were in the Upside Down from Stranger Things.
Yes, kind of like that, but without the
He
weird
will-
tentacle things.
He will do his best to describe that in more simple terms.
And hearing this description, would any of us recognize?
I might.
Yeah,
You could roll an Arcana check.
I would
will
like
roll
to.
an
Can I roll?
Arcana check.
I would like to.
Can I roll history from the possibility that I would have been taught this?
I would say it would still be Arcana, because even if you were taught
Okay.
it, it would fall under the realm of Arcana.
That is a 21 for me.
That
Mr.
is
Magic
a
Man.
unnatural genetically modified 20 for me.
I don't remember what my thing is. Arcana, right? Yeah,
Arcana.
that's a 21. So,
Okay, all
same as
very
in
good.
Kyrie.
So you all get same gist. More than likely, from the description, it sounds like it was potentially the ethereal plane, or something that branched off of it.
It seems that you blinked into the ethereal plane, which isn't unheard of for spellcasters. Maybe it's just something that happened on accident.
Can you teleport now?
I was,
That would
I
be a
was-
great asset.
I'm gonna walk up to Seth and like knock on his head to make sure he's there.
He is in fact there. Solid knock knock.
Okay. Yeah, I hear echoing.
What are you doing?
Making sure that you're real and haven't come back with atrocities.
Well, we're just about to go diving down into the city.
Yeah,
Alright.
you. Not gonna go blinking into different realms now, are you? While down there.
I don't know. I didn't do it on purpose.
We'll roll with the punches, so to speak.
Well, we can't if he's not there to roll with the punches. He's the main one that punches. Stabs, shivs.
Hmm.
That's
Enough.
true.
Get in the bell.
He's gonna turn, look for Dunless.
Dunless is at this point approaching. He was down below the deck, gathering his things, and he approaches, looks to you, Seth. You're back. This is good.
Are you also going in that thing?
I will be going down with, but not inside.
I think I'm gonna stay outside too.
Fair enough.
Smug cat face from Consolida.
Legit, Seth was doing this as he says it too.
Oh,
Okay.
But
So,
before I go
yes.
in, I will just like kind of squeeze Seth's shoulder.
You got this, bud.
So, for a point of reference, so you can kind of visualize here, this diving bell is shaped like a large bell, has a door, like a port on the side of it. And how it basically works is there is no floor to this. It is lowered in the water, and because of the water pressure, it keeps a pocket of air up near the top. There's handles on the inside that all of you can hold on to, and it is sort of suspended by a small crane type thing on board, normally used for cargo, off the side of the ship. So one by one, each of you kind of gets inside, holds the thing, and your bottom half is submerged in the water as you hold on. And
Am I the only one who's got this really funny image of Sapling trying to use the typing?
I was gonna
Well,
ask how tall.
I was.
It's
it is
big
tall
enough.
It is actually quite large, height wise. Your head would be near the ceiling. It is a little uncomfortable because it's made for somebody who is of two legs, bipedal humanoid, which you are not, being a centaur. So it is a little uncomfortable, but it's not impossible.
I just imagine him holding onto two handlebars, like flexing his muscles while his horse part just dangles out from underneath.
I've played Minecraft. I know horses can't swim.
It's so true. So true.
Fun fact: horses are actually amazing swimmers, despite the fact that
are.
they have hooves.
Let's put Seth to
Very
the
funny.
test, shall we?
Okay, that's very funny.
Not
so-
Seth. I meant Sapling. That's another
Sapling.
S name.
Yeah, yeah. That's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah, but anything any of you want to do before you head down?
Uh,
Or are you just heading down?
I'll
heading
cast
down.
dancing lights so that we have some light as we go down.
Flashbang all the
smart.
creatures that have dark vision.
I have dark vision.
Alright. I'm pretty. Does Sapling have dark vision? Because I'm pretty sure
No.
he's the only one. Okay, so
No.
he doesn't get flashbanged. Everyone else does.
Yeah,
I do not have
it's a
dark
bit
vision.
bright. Oh, okay. It's a bit bright, but eyes adjusting pretty quickly. Those of you with dark vision, essentially, you just now see what is illuminated by this. Those of you without can now see. But as all of you gather around, there are some handles on the outside of the diving bell. Seth, do you hold on to one of them? Okay.
I'll take one too.
Okay, you're going on the outside as well?
Yeah.
Perfect.
We have a horse. I don't want to take up more space.
That's fair enough. So those of you
I'm stuck
inside,
in here with Inkyron and Ulrich and Sapling.
Yeah. Yes. Which, for those of you inside, your vision is extremely limited. You can see through the bottom, which again is an open, nothing there, just open, and the porthole on the side. So there's a porthole on each side, but only one of them is an actual door that can open as well. Which you were told do not open, because that will get rid of all air within the diving bell, because it'll ruin the pressure.
The picture in my mind is awful with how light works with water, and there's no windows in the diving bell with the dancing lights above us. We can't see anything, so it is just a black abyss below us.
There's some light, but regardless, you're correct. There is a black abyss below you. Even if the dancing lights illuminated perfectly with the distance that they illuminate, you don't see anything. It's just dark. Now, question for you. Would you have tried to lower next to one of these pillars? Dunless basically makes it clear it doesn't matter whether you do or whether you don't. It's about the same distance where you need to go either way to get the air bubbles. So would you prefer to have the comfort of being next to a pillar? Or do you just want to drop straight into an abyss?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think we want the comfort, something to orient ourselves with.
Bro, don't talk to us about comfort. You're in the outside of the dome.
Hey, it's comfortable out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch Fish Love. First run seats.
So
Great
all of you-
entertainment.
yes, fantastic entertainment. Speaking of which, entertainment.
Oh
It
no.
is-
Oh no.
Fascinating in a way. So those of you on the inside, very low visibility, can't really see anything below you, even with the pillar. But out of one of the porthole windows, you can see the tower of this building. From your perspective, on the inside of this diving bell, what you see as you descend this pillar is it doesn't appear there's any windows or there's no like glass. It's all just open archways. It's a very old style of build. Just archways and even doors. Generally, it is just an arch. There are balconies. At one point, if this was a city above the waves, as you've been told, this would have been a beautiful city. It looks like a lot of it was made maybe out of some type of limestone. Potentially, it doesn't look like brick by brick. It almost looks like the place was grown out of the stone in the way that it's built. But again, there's parts that are very ramshackle and put together very, what's the word I'm looking for, kind of cobbled together. Those of you on the outside, you begin to see things moving around in the water, but they get pretty close before going away. And they're fish, various types of fish. But you start to see, it looks like things are moving around in some of the buildings, some of these towers near you. And Dunless kind of points them out, and just kind of makes sure that you see it as well. This diving bell descends and descends, going lower and lower through the water. And eventually, those of you in the diving bell can see what looks like ground approaching. You see what looks like trees. They're devoid of leaves. They are just, looks like dead trees under the water. And you're deep enough at this point that you start to feel a little bit of the pressure. Those of you outside the diving bell specifically feel this pressure, but inside you feel it as well a little bit. It's not crippling, but it is definitely going to make it hard to move. And hard to swing a weapon. So something definitely you kind of clock that and keep in mind. Now, eventually the diving bell lands, or rather it has like stilts on the bottom so you're not trapped inside. It lands on these stilts and you can exit out if you wish. But what I will tell you, you see before you do, those of you outside, you see that, let me get up my map here. There we go. You see that there are buildings all around you. Some of them look almost like large apartment complex style buildings, many doors, many windows, many buildings, multi-floors. One of them is one just large building, one of the spires that you could see from the top. And they all have strange writing on them. And actually, I believe one of you might be able to partially read it. It isn't the exact language. I believe it would be, I could be wrong, it might be Consolida though. Any of you that speak English?
That would be me.
That would be you. Okay. You can partially read it. It is a mix of that and something else that you can't quite make out. But one of these buildings is labeled as, what you gather, the Myrkalid City something center. The one word you can't quite make out. And even the words that you can make out aren't quite that. There's some weird accents and syllables here and there that don't quite fit the language, but that is the closest language that you could equate to it. The city something center. And Dunless motions for everybody to head toward that building. And those of you in the diving bell, he kind of goes up to the porthole and points out in the direction. Do those of you within go outside?
Nah, I'm having an anxiety attack. I hate it down here. Everything's
Yeah.
awful.
It's pretty
It'll
spooky.
be okay.
It's easy enough said for a man who's lived for how many years?
A little more than 300, I think. But I've never
Mm-hmm.
done anything like this.
It must be nice living a life. I don't want to lose mine.
Well, I've been alive for probably a much shorter time than that. And I am also scared, but I think we'll be okay. You'll be fine. You have your friends here to keep you safe.
One of you pops out of existence like it's nothing. The one that can swim and breathe in the water.
Well,
You know what? I know what would
no
make me
one's
feel better.
perfect.
I'm gonna push Ulrich in first.
You know what? Make me a strength check. I gotta at least give them a chance. They're not here. Or, well, they are, but...
Oh, well, this is a decent roll. I don't have a modifier. You could beat it. That is a 16.
16? Okay. Ulrich, go ahead and... well, actually, Ulrich, what is your AC?
Oh, it's definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because this would be like a shove, so it's that against your DC, or your AC. So, Ulrich, you get shoved in by Concelida. I will say, those of you
Worry.
inside the diving bell can talk no problem. The moment you're out, you can't without losing air. There is, over time, so much air that you'll have. Everything that would cause you to speak, like a vocal component of a spell, any of that will shorten your time. I'll be keeping track of that for each of you. And then after the air
Lovely.
runs out, you will have to start making rolls. So
I will,
I
in
will
fact,
follow quickly
leave
after
the
Ulrich.
diving bell and start following.
okay, perfect.
And I'm gonna go check on.
Oh, sorry. Say again.
Oh, I was just saying that I'm gonna go check on food.
Okay, sounds good.
Don't worry, Ulrich. Concelida, although has mixed feelings with you, is holding onto your sleeve, following you.
Aww. So, you all begin to go and follow Dunless. As you make your way through the deep sea area here, you end up entering this building, again, the Myrkalid Center, as far as you know it at this point. And inside you see there are, much like the exterior of the building, the interior looks as if it was just carved directly out of stone. And you see a flag in the back that is flying, sort of the short end hanging on some kind of pole and then draping downwards. It's very tattered, but it is a blue flag. And in the center, there is a depiction in white. At least that's what the colors appear like right now, with the glow from the dancing lights. That appears to be the side profile of a woman's face.
Oh god, we're in
Um,
Starbucks.
Not a full body, just the face. Side profile. Different. But funny. But this is directly behind the desk, and there are some stairs that go up either way. And Dunless begins to go up one of them. Do any of you want to investigate anything while you're down here? Or do you just follow along?
I just want an air bubble before I die.
Okay. Anyone else?
I mean, it's a nice Starbucks flag, however. I don't want death.
Okay. Well, following along then, he goes and searches through the rooms, kind of just checking each room. He is going to waste a bit of air here. Not that he necessarily, well, no, because he doesn't need it, so that doesn't apply to him. He's going to just say then, and you can hear it, but it's very, very muffled, underwater. You're going to hear, check the rooms on the top floor. One of them should be labeled armory. So,
Just start going there quickly.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow the one that's
Is-
I'm holding on to people.
okay. So then each of you will need to roll an investigation check. If you do not have dark vision or some other means, then you would be at disadvantage. I will say with the dancing, and Chiron's not here, I will say, actually don't do the disadvantage because the dancing lights are there. That should be enough. So just a investigation check from each of you and post it in dice rolls for me. Because I'm going to take a bite of food.
I'd hold on to the fish, but the fish needs to swim, and I don't think he'd be very good at swimming if it was a person clinging to him like a monkey.
I think he'd be fine.
Do you really want a koala stuck to you?
Hmm.
No, Seth wouldn't. He'd probably be really mad at you. Or at Concelida. But also, he'd be fine.
What's your movement speed again?
45.
Yeah, as soon as Consuela gets the chance, she becomes your human backpack.
Okay.
Legs around your waist, arms around your shoulders, and just clinging to you like.
This is an important question then. Are you doing that before you begin to look? Is this like you're going with Seth to look?
I'll go with Seth to look, yeah.
Okay, then your roll does not matter. And I would give Seth advantage because you'd basically be helping, but that is a high enough roll anyway. So basically, go ahead and Chiron, roll me a investigation check. You are currently searching for the armory. You're looking around the upper floor looking for the armory so that you can find these air bubbles you were told of. Because they are what will help you
Luckily, it's
survive.
an investigation.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh no.
12.
Okay. I thought it was going to be worse.
No,
12's not
10.
bad.
Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot. I'm not proficient in it.
Gotcha. Well, I will say, so Seth, you do see it. Concelida, you see it directly after, and then Merrick, you're about the same time as Concelida. It is actually a floor above where you are. And it is on the far wall, you can see one that is labeled, while you cannot read the words armory, in fact, a lot of these doors have words on them that you can't read, except in Chiron you can partially read them, but you don't even need to because most of them also just have pictures associated. Like one of them has a picture of like a fork and a spoon. That's probably something to do with food you can gather. Where this one has a picture of what looks to be like firearms and things like that. Which I'm guessing you all make your way up to the armory. Okay. And Dunless
Indeed.
kind of sees you all headed that way, follows along, and immediately he goes up, and there is a large shutter door in front of this. The doorway itself for this armory is maybe 15 feet wide, and the door is about 10 feet tall. And it's this big square, sort of slatted door, kind of like if you've ever been into a mall when a store is closed. They have those big shutters, almost like big bars. That's what's in front of this. And Dunless goes over and flips something open and kind of places his hand against it. nothing happens. And he says something that even if you can't speak the language he's speaking, it's something obscene. It's a little obscene. But he looks to all of you. The door is not opening. We need to find a way around. Look around for a hatch or opening. I need one of you to make me an investigation check, or one of you can assist and give advantage.
I could fuck with the door.
You could.
I'm good at
You
doors.
could also fuck with the door. So what would you, if you want to try to fuck with the door, what would you like to try? There is no keyhole or lock.
It's it's like a mole thing with a shutter, right?
Correct. It is like a big mall shutter. That's the closest thing I can equate it to.
Do you think I would have come across my occasional shut shops that I've broken into before that isn't sapling?
I would say there are probably no shops that use this sort of thing. Most shops just have a simple door that they lock. This is probably something you would not have come across.
Okay.
But if there is something any of you would like to try besides just looking for a way around, please be my guest.
I will look for a way around,
Okay.
I think. See if my next roll of investigation is better. That's a little bit. It's a 15.
15? Okay. So you begin looking around, and you do see that on the right wall, there is right from the door, there is what looks like a vent hatch, which at a quick inspection of it, it doesn't seem to be anything that could lift. It would have to be almost either unscrewed in some way, or pried off, or you could try to rip it off. But the vent cover would need to be removed, but you are pretty sure it would lead into the room.
I gesture to this.
I can go mess with that instead. That seems easier to mess with.
How are you going to mess with it?
I believe I have thieves' tools, and I would like to attempt to practice my non-burglaring skills in opening vents and secret hatches that are meant to be sealed.
That's
If
fair.
Encelada fails, which I doubt she will, I might try to rip it off.
I am just double checking what all comes in thieves' tools. Small file, lockpicks, mirror on a metal handle, narrow bladed scissors, and a pair of pliers. So that's what comes in these. This here. You tell me what tools in the thieves' tools you're using to do this, and that'll set the DC that you have to beat.
What kind of screws does it have? If
They
any
are
at
like
all?
the flathead type of screw.
Flathead type of screw.
Yeah.
Is it a plus sign? Is it just one
No, it's
line?
a minus sign. The flathead, yeah, minus sign.
Okay, yeah, I'll use the scissors.
Okay, just kind of
No,
putting the scissors.
I'll yeah, and then I've
Okay.
had to do this many times. Not
I've done this
great,
before.
but it's yeah.
It's going to be harder than if you had the actual tool, so it'll adjust the DC, but it isn't impossible. Go ahead and roll me a tool for your thieves' tools. So that'd be, or a check for your thieves' tools. That'd be dexterity with proficiency.
Next out. That's store-bought 20.
Okay. That is enough. So you take the scissors,
Voila.
which are not made for this, and you start just kind of like, it takes a minute. It does take a hot minute to do, but you get in there and eventually are able to kind of pry one of them out. They didn't look like they were in the wall super good. It probably could have been pulled out, but it probably would have made a lot more noise. This is a lot quieter, which you don't know what's in the area. You saw things, but you don't know what's in the area. So
Just thumbs up to everyone, and then can I investigate what's in the vent? Can I drag Seth to investigate what's in the vent with me?
you can, Seth. Do you go over?
He has no. I'm gripping his.
Fair enough. So go ahead in that case, Seth, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Just a flat perception check because Consolida with your sight. Actually, you do have dark vision, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually,
He-
if you want to help, you could give Seth advantage.
Seth has 120 dark vision, by the way.
Yeah.
Fair. Still could give advantage if you wish.
I'll
'cause
give
it would just-
advantage to him. Seth, we're doing our first burglary. I mean, bonding.
And Seth, do me a favor. Tell me what both the totals were, and which one was the first one. Because since your dark vision is longer, the one roll is for your total distance, and then the other roll with Consolida's help is for the distance that Consolida and you can both see.
Mine, the second one, I'm going to give you second first,
Okay.
was a 21 total. The
Very good.
first one I rolled was a 18.
Okay. Both very good. One a little better. What you both see is this is a pretty long vent. And you can kind of tell the wall, the space between the door you are, like the door you guys are trying to get through, and the other room, you can even see through that shutter. It's a pretty thick wall. Probably for defense or whatever in the case of an attack. So your vision extends pretty far, and for that 60 feet, you can see nothing really in the vent itself, other than it looks like there is something blocking the path at the very end. And I'll say at the end of... This is honestly probably about 45 feet away. So the whole 120 you can't quite take advantage of. But you can see that there's something blocking the end of the vent that would have to be moved or dragged out. It is brown in color. Or rather, actually, sorry, you wouldn't be able to tell that because black and white, dark vision. A sort of darker gray, I guess. It does look like a body.
Seth, it's your
Somebody
lunch.
in the vent.
I'm glad I can't speak right now. You would drown me.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna push Seth towards that.
Seth, do
You're
you go in the vent after the shove?
He just calls her a bitch and then goes.
Okay. So you go in the vent and you can see it is a body. It is one of the Triton that is wearing just very simple rags, and he appeared to have died in the vent. You have good perception. So I will say what you notice is there appear to be small holes all throughout his body. Again, at the position he's at, you can't really get a good look. That is just what you see at his position and yours. This is a straight shaft, but in order to get in the room, you would have to move him. Basically drag him back the way you came. Okay, you do so?
He'll motion for her to back out as well, so that he can then drag the body out.
Okay,
You can do that.
perfect. I will say, you guys are starting to run out. I have a timer here. You're starting to run out. You have probably another few minutes before saves will need made. But before timer paused, I'll tell you what you all see once the body's taken out. You see, just at a glance, this is one of the Tritons. There are many, not perfectly circular, very abnormal, just holes in certain places throughout the body, punctures in a way, but they don't look like a blade necessarily, unless it was a very large blade. Almost like one of those like, well,
Bloody Mary.
maybe not all of you know what this is, but if you've ever seen like in a lot of knife sets, it has like a thing to sharpen the knives with, and it's like a circle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, so it's like
that.
an Iron Maiden. That's awful.
But not as consistent. True, yes, but not like a bunch everywhere. It's just like a few here and there. If any of you want to take a better look, you can. But
I'm
you
good.
are
I want to. I'm
running
panicking.
out of
I
time.
want air.
I will make sure that everybody else goes in the vent, and then I will stay out with Sapling
fuck is
and wait for the
Sapling?
door.
Yes, because Sapling cannot go.
Yeah.
And I will investigate the body.
Okay.
Because I have the time, I guess. Because they're crawling through the vents.
Yeah. Is there anyone
Among
else
Us.
who
I wanna
wants to
look at a
stay?
body.
Is there anyone else who would who has the option who would like to stay on the outside, or is everyone else besides those two going in? Gonna assume everyone else is going in. Okay.
And is
So
Dunless going in?
Dunless is going in because he knows what to look for. So he I would say, if any of you have any problem with this, let me know, but he would offer to go first. So that he can start looking.
As long as I'm behind Seth, so I can cling to him like a spider monkey.
That works. So all of you begin crawling through the vent. These are pretty tight. So Consolidate, you wouldn't be able to be on Seth, but you could be like holding.
I'm on
onto
his tail.
foot. Yeah, or his tail. Yeah.
I was just hugging his tail.
There you go. So you begin to make your way through the vent, and Dunless, just sort of like with a bit of straining, just pushes the other vent off the wall. That one didn't seem to be on as good, and gets you guys in the room. Immediately, he starts looking around, and spots. Let's see if he does. 17, that's good. He's gonna look over to the one side of the wall and immediately rushes over and grabs these. They're these metal bars almost, and he kind of motions for you to put it basically in your mouth.
When people say to have more iron in your eye, this is not what I thought they meant.
Did you eat it?
No.
No, seriously, what does Kinsella to do? Does he
She holds it like flat on her hand and it...
Okay. I was gonna say that'd be so fucking funny because in theory,
technically could work, just poorly.
Yeah. Basically what happens is it's in your mouth, and then he motions for you to press down on either side. And you can feel there's two like buttons on either side. Do you do so? Press.
Mhm.
And out of those, this almost it's almost like a balloon in a way, forms around your head, and seals, not uncomfortably tight, but tight enough to not let water in around your neck and everything else. And then you have this sort of like fishbowl on your head. At that point, the metal bit that was in your mouth separates and just becomes part of it, almost one half up near each ear. And all the water drains out, and you have a bubble of air around your head. You can now hear. And any else of you that take one, get one. Dunless also then goes over and yeah, Ulrich. Dunless does go and open the big shutter, going from the inside, flipping a lever, and the door raises, and then he brings one out to each of you that stayed outside. So now, for all intents and purposes, all of you that need one have one.
Yay. Still hugging Seth. I'm still on his tail.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
There you go. Do any of you want to, while you're in the armory, take a look around? And then we will get to your
definitely
medicine
see what
check.
other sort of weapons might be in
Weapons.
here, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in Chiron, real quick, go ahead and roll me that medicine check. Unless you already have.
Okay.
And then the rest of you that
I
are
have not.
investigating the armory, make me an investigation check. And then we're going to do the medicine check first, and then I'll ask the check for the rest of you, like for the number.
19.
19. You're standing there in Chiron, and you're looking at this body, and These were definitely entry wounds. Most of them, anyway. You can see that there are a couple up near the head that look like exit wounds, as if something left, or rather came out. And you look kind of on the other side of the head, directly across, like an entry and exit wound. There is not. There's simply exit wound up here, entry wounds everywhere else. It's a bit bizarre. But I think, and this isn't even necessarily just from your check, but just from looking at the body and thinking about it, I think you're smart enough. There is a very surprising lack of blood. There was no blood in the vents that you saw, or that, there was none clinging to Seth or Consolida. There's no blood out here, and there's no blood seeping from the body as it's in front of you. Bit concerning. And that's the information you get with that. And for the rest of you, what was for those of you that wanted to look, what was your investigation check?
12.
12.
15.
15.
11.
Oh, and then Sapling, what was yours?
7.
7. Okay. So some of you definitely find more than others. I'll say Sapling, it mostly appears to be various spears, tridents, a lot of very cobbled together stuff in here. Nothing super worthwhile unless you do want a spear, trident, or something like that. If you do, there is some there.
Nah.
And some sword type things as well. Those, again, very cobbled together. The blades look like they were from just some scraps of metal that they found. The handles very just wrapped pieces of wood. For the 12 and 15, you see the same thing, but you also find they have some bows. These actually look to be of slightly better quality, long bows and short bows. There don't appear to be any crossbows or things like that down here. Mainly just standard bows. These were made, but they look like there was some care put into them. As well as you do find a few slightly better made swords. They look actually like smithed by a smithy, although they've been here for a while, so some barnacles and things have encrusted on them, but nothing that can't be cleaned off. And I will say, Seth, you had a 17, right?
I had an 11.
11. Did I hear someone who had a 17, or am I hearing wrong? I think I heard 11 and the 7 at the same time, and my brain went, 17.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, that's totally what happened.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to say, Seth, you kind of find... you find about the same thing as Sapling, but I'll say you also find some of the slightly better swords. I'll give one more thing in that case, because I did have a thing in mind here. I'll give it to... Was it Merrick who had 15?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of in the back area of this armory. You're looking around, and behind one of these crates, you see that there is a blade back there. It is... I guess you could consider it a greatsword. It's... Yeah, I guess it would be considered a greatsword. This also is covered in all kinds of filth and things like that from being down here, but the blade is pristine. It's... You feel, looking at it, if you were to clean it off, it would probably be just as good as the day it was forged. But also, it's something about it that just kind of... There's an energy around it. Something you can't place just at a glance. If you'd like to see if you can get a little more information, you could roll insight check, arcana check. There's a number of checks you could roll if you want a little more information.
That was insight or arcana.
Insight, Arcana, or if there's another check or thing you'd like to do, you could. But those are the two that just come to mind.
I'll try arcana.
Okay.
Well, that's a 13.
Sword, you feel from the energy that's around it, it is probably magical in some way.
All right, well,
That's
we're
it.
gonna go take it.
Okay. Since you have just picked it up, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it feels very light in your hand. It's very well balanced for such a big weapon. I would say now that you actually are holding it in your hand, you use a sword pretty often. It's a little larger than yours, but it looks like it was made, or at least wielded, by one of the creatures that exist down here, one of the Tritons, who are, from the ones you've seen, a little bit larger than most people. But with how light it is, you're pretty sure it wouldn't hinder mobility. It does require attunement, though.
All right.
So,
Just
yeah.
give it like a swing or two. You know, just basic basic guarding stance and such.
it feels good. It really does.
Closing your eyes and without context, this conversation is. This is
Yeah?
Resident 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get your mind
look
out
right.
there.
Connor went there too.
Oh, that's Connor.
What?
12 and 13-year-old got it.
I thought it was 8.
That too. But you that is what you find in the armory. Most of the other stuff doesn't look great. But one thing I will tell you for all of you, and all of you who investigated would notice this, a lot of the cobbled together weapons, some of the parts of them look reminiscent, not the same, but reminiscent of, what's the word here? It looks like parts of firearms were used, but the parts of firearms are not the same as what you would have seen back home on the mainland. A lot of those firearms are very like flintlock style weapons. These don't appear to be, but you can very distinctly see what looks like. For example, the handle of one of the tridents has built into it what looks like a trigger mechanism. But you can tell it's just a wooden shaft sticking out of it. So it's not a firearm. It's just this was something that was built for a better grip. Parts of weapons were used to craft these.
Would I be able to take a short bow and some arrows?
Yeah, oh, for sure. There's definitely some arrows that you can find down there, and there are plenty of short bows. And again, the bows are actually made fairly well.
I'm just
So
going
there
to
you
take
go.
those and put that over my chest. And then look at Merrick. He has a sword from somewhere. Where did you get that?
Kind of like shrugs and points back with his the thumb to, the corner of the area he found it with, and holds it up in one hand. I don't know how much I could speak underwater, and Merrick's not too sure either.
Now that you have the bubbles from the armor, you can speak freely.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I found it over there. It was just kind of sitting there. There's something strange about it, magical. But I can't quite ascertain what it might be.
Hand it
I
over to a
believe
nerd.
you.
I could take a look at it if you wish.
I could too.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like make sure to hold it carefully and then hand it over to Concelida for a moment.
I'll also look at it.
Identify.
Okay. I will say, in Chiron, are you just doing like a glance at it?
I'm just looking.
Okay. Go ahead and make me the Arcana check then. And
The
as
Arcana.
for Consolida,
Not
yeah.
no insight option.
I mean, if you want to do insight, you could. It would insight Arcana. If there's a
I
different
would
check you
love
want
to
to
do
make,
insight.
go ahead. I'll get you do
These
you
are the
vibe check it.
You
These are like the
vibe
three
checking.
people who are trained with magic trying to figure out what this is.
Yeah.
That is a 19 for me.
Okay, then I'll give you your vibe check in a second. I do want to clarify for Consolida, are you using a spell slot and then the 1 minute casting time, or do you want a ritual cast? That'll take time, but you have the air bubbles, you're not in a rush?
Yeah, I'll cast it with the ritual time.
Okay, so then it'll save a spell slot, but it will take 11 minutes.
Mhm.
So there you go. Question.
Hmm?
This does have a material component, and while I don't require most, I require anything with a gold cost. And
Oh, what does
there
this
is
have?
a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces. And an owl feather, but I don't require the owl feather because there's no gold cost to that.
Hey, you know the
pearl
key
it
we
does.
have?
Yeah.
It could count.
The key to the vault we have?
Unless it's
Yeah.
like-
Actually,
Well,
hold on.
we did start with.
That's just
I
funny. I don't intend to use the key for a magic spell
Well,
component.
it doesn't
Well, it doesn't consume it.
it doesn't consume it.
It reveals
if
everything.
If this
Wait a minute.
if this is considered, fuck, hold on. I'm looking up what a pearl is because I gave a really specific description of what that key was when you actually were taking a look at it. So I gotta see what a pearl's made out of. Because if it's close enough, I'll give it
Minerals
to
on
you.
it.
We did get the ritual item substitute as well
You did, which you
in
could
the
use.
beginning.
But
So what are
this may or may not be a pretty. It might be best to hold on to it.
yeah.
Until the end, where we never use it.
Okay,
Exactly.
so here's the thing. It's not exact, but I described, and this is not word for word, but I essentially described this pearl as being made up of bone and stone, basically organic material,
Minerals.
and minerals. Minerals being the parts of stone, like calcite,
Such as calcite.
which is one of the things that makes up pearls, as well as organic material. It also, there's a specific protein from like mollusks and stuff, but I'm not going to be that picky. Identify does not consume the item, so if you would like to use it to cast Identify, I would like to do so. This is D&D.
Yes.
This
Yes, I
group
would
is gonna
love to have a
kickstart.
free spell slot with with no gold cost.
You know what? Sure. I did the research. I accept it. Fine. So there
I
we
would,
go.
however, if Consolida is smart enough to do that, which I guarantee she probably is, because she's smarter than me, she would also like to possibly hide from Dungelus. Is she Dungelus?
Dungelus.
I'd like to hide from him as I cast this.
You know what?
For
Let
10
me
minutes.
do a roll
11.
for him and see if he's even paying attention. Here's
That's
what I'm going to
seduce.
say based on my roll here. Go ahead and roll for it. But I'll tell you, he probably, if your plus is higher than 4, I don't think he's going to see you because he's honestly going through the armory and getting things together because he is expecting to go fight a fucking necromancer.
What am I rolling? You just said
You'd be rolling sleight of hand.
Is it like
sleight of hand. Yeah, my plus to that is 8.
Yeah, you can roll if you want to, but yeah.
It's a 3, so what was it make that 12, 11?
Wow. Okay. If your plus wasn't that high, you could have failed that. Wow.
I would be fucked, yes. However, rogue.
Yeah. Right now Dunless is going around and just gathering as much as he can. He's taking time and he's getting ready for what's to come.
What do I get from the vibe check? Before
What
the
you get
identifier
from the
goes
vibe
off?
check,
Yeah.
yes. What you get from the vibe check is the vibes over this weapon are not super cash money, but like Okay. It's like when you see somebody in a trial and you're like, I'm not sure that they did it, but I feel like they might have done it. Like, you feel that this
Okay.
sword has done some bad stuff, but you're not sure what the context behind that is.
Okay.
Yeah, like, could it have been doing bad things for a good reason?
I'm not sure of the motive of this sword.
Yeah, the motive is very unclear.
The moral value of this metal item is very questionable.
We can work the charges down.
Yeah. Okay,
Somewhere
and let me,
amazing,
for
yeah.
your identify, I want to really quick grab this again.
We just chill in the armory while Dauntless gets ready. He's getting strapped.
Getting
Yep.
fucking he really is.
We're-
Oh, was that it? I think I scrolled past it. Is this the one
I can hear you a clinking clacking of your dice, Callie.
Clink cackling.
Sorry, I'm
Cackled, blabbling.
simply moving.
They feel good.
Okay. And then let me make sure I give you exactly what I'm supposed to for the spell, because if I don't have to tell you the curse, I won't.
Oh no. I have to be the one every time to get the cursed objects first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to, so this is what identify says, and you call me out on bullshit if you think that I should give you any more information. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, which it is, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has. And there's some other stuff, but it doesn't apply here because that's like if there's any spells affecting it,
And
or
if
if it
it's
was created by a
cursed.
spell. Which
I would say that a curse is a property and how to
It
use
is a property.
It
Yeah.
is a property, so I do. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. Well,
Oh.
shit. Here we go. So
My
I
first
will.
use, and I'm fucking the DM.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm not gonna say it
Oh.
out loud. I'm just going to send you the item in the private chat, and you can take a look.
Oh, can't be that bad.
The name's great, by the way. Now, I think it is balanced enough for what, like, the rarity it says it is, I don't think is super accurate. I know why it says that, but I think the balance here is pretty good. I will say the one part, if you see the very last line where it mentions a spell, that part is it is actually replaced the spell with a long rest. So instead
Okay.
of that spell happening and being the case, when say long rest is taken, it reverses.
Why does Merrick have this? Why? Of course Merrick gets this, because I'm just gonna sit there staring at this, and then just like Jester and Karen come over.
Yes.
We need to keep the sword away from Merrick.
Why?
And whisper over to Kyron what the fuck this green thing is. How do I should I send it to him or should I just
Go
read it
ahead.
out loud?
I mean, if you're
Here.
describing exactly what you know, you can send it to Encheiron.
Why am I not allowed to know?
Because
If
if
they
you
tell you. Or if
Yeah,
you
we
attune
just-
to it. If you take
we're
the time to
just
attune to it, you'll know what
whispering.
it does.
we're
wanna
just
take an hour to attune?
whispering.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just whispering with each other, like
See, I would like, in the spirit of cooperation and friendship, to know what this is before doing that.
Yeah, wait your turn. I'm just discussing with Kyron some big adult stuff.
Ooh.
Now, again, keep in mind the very last line, long rest instead of that spell, because
Yeah.
having that spell at this level is unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm making it a little more fair.
You just lean over to Kyron. He has a habit of already doing some of these things, and I would rather.
feel like
It's like-
you tend to have a habit of doing some of those things. And I think he's the only one in our party that can actually use such a weapon. I'll make sure to keep an eye on him.
Okay, Merrick!
Yes.
And she'll get up, hold the handle of the sword, and push into your chest. Use it responsibly. Do not
What
cause me
does it do?
stress. It is called the Sword of Sacrifice. And I will send.
It basically,
Yeah, I'll let Chiron.
it will empower you for a time, but at the cost of some of your vitality. Until the next time you rest for a while.
Yeah, which
I
you have
see.
the thing right now, Merrick, right? You have the
Yes, no,
document.
holding on to it. No, I don't have the document.
Oh, you don't? Was it not sent?
I can send
No.
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, send, because if
There you
you're,
go.
I mean, if I'm assuming, are you going to describe what it does?
That's what I
Yeah,
just
I'll
did.
tell
I
Yeah,
just
you
described
just
what
said
it
so.
does.
Yeah, so like, go ahead and send it over. I for the viewers who cannot see it, it is, I found it. I didn't make this, but I think it fits really well. It's called the Blade of Sacrifice. So basically, as a bonus action, when you draw the sword, which, by the way, you do not have to activate this as soon as you draw the weapon. It's not always while you draw the weapon. Actually, I'm changing that because fuck it. You also have the other sword, so it's not like you have to use this all the time. I'm gonna actually send you, Merrick, a couple changes so that you have them. You gain a +2 to attack and damage rolls made with a weapon. Speed increases by 10 feet, and AC increases by 1. However, you lose health at the start of your turn while in state of sacrifice, and they can only be regained at a long rest. The couple changes I'm going to make is instead of greater restoration, like it says, it is going to be long rest.
Okay.
You know what? Instead of restoration, and I'll just send the link for the sword along with it so you know the context for the future. And then what was the other thing? Oh, it's not a bonus action to start or end it. It's just while you're using the weapon. Because if you had a choice, then it's not really a curse, is it? But if you want the condition to end, you have to use your other weapon. So you lose the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
The weapon of sacrifice condition is just active. There we go. Yeah, because I think that balances it a little bit more. Oh, and the hit points instead of 7, because how much HP do you have?
Maybe 44.
44. We're going to set it to, for now, we're going to set it to 3. I think that's a little better, given how long combat. 5. There are other things that can get rid of this. Like once you guys do get access to restoration stuff, it
Also,
would it can also be used to get rid of it at that point. You just don't have that now.
What,
But
Callie?
when you do.
No, I was just realizing that Merrick has 2.5 times the amount of HP that I do.
Yeah.
That's why you're distraught.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty great. Okay. Because basically I think hit points reduced by 5 is a little better, because I mean that's like almost 9 turns that you would be fine if it was just to keep reducing. So I think that's fair. And also, again, you can just swap to the other weapon at any time. So like if you really
All right.
it's not like you're locked into this weapon. You can switch to a different weapon every time. But I
So
will
like
say,
if I were to
oh, go ahead.
Oh, so it's like if I just use it at all, that happens, or
Correct.
is it
Basically,
like if I
you have
activate,
it
I
in
don't
your
have?
hand.
Okay.
But that does mean if you're going to use it, like if you on one turn say I take out the Blade of Sacrifice and I use it, you gain the effect. then you would get that detriment. But it's kind of that thing of like, you could, in theory, here's one way you could get around it, and here's how I will balance that, because this is probably going to come up at some point. You can technically, as a free action, swap your weapons, right? So you could literally use the weapon, and then at the end of your turn, swap to the other weapon. But because you used the weapon on the last turn, you would still, at the start of your next turn, get that detriment, even if you have the other weapon out,
Okay.
because you used it on the last turn.
Yeah.
Which, again, there will be things that'll probably come up, and we'll get to them at some point. But
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing for now. But that is about what you guys find in the armory of note. At this point, Dunless finishes what he's doing, looks to the rest of you. If you would like to look around any more, you may. But I will be waiting downstairs where we came in, and I will show the way to the vault when you are done.
Kyron, would you like a trident instead of your stick? Fancy stick. It's a nice stick. I like your stick. I'm just thinking.
I'm
Trident.
more
Mhm.
comfortable with a spear, thank you. I would take one of the short bows. I don't really have a ranged option other than magic, of course.
Okay. You can definitely get one.
Yay.
Okay.
I'm then going to go follow Douglas and put my tags around where we came in and where we're going to go.
Perfect. And so you
Following
put your
close.
little bits of ribbon, you're following as well. Okay. Anyone else have anything they'd like to do while here before following? No? Okay.
Specifying that I'm not holding the greatsword. This, it's just like, attached somehow
Fair enough.
back, berserk style.
Yeah, but exactly. Would you have taken the time to attune?
No,
Not
not yet. No.
While you're
So-
walking,
Yeah. So
it
Then
takes
there
an
you
hour
go.
to do.
Okay. So you all begin to make your way, passing the body of the man who befell a less than fortunate fate, and you make your way out to Dunless, who is looking around, kind of a look of sadness, seeing a home that was once beautiful. So,
I'm
Mm.
sticking to Seth again.
sticking to Seth. Fair enough.
You started the music and I was like, oh yeah, right, we're in danger. Fish boy.
Danger. Yeah. Let me make sure. There we go.
I'm not in his tail this time. I am just wrapped around his back, so it's easier.
Makes sense. It doesn't really reduce your movement at all, Seth, because you can definitely tell that somebody is there, but you're
I don't
you are
weigh
built
much.
for swimming. Yeah, it's a lighter person, and you are built for swimming, so you are okay.
He's just built different.
Yeah. But you all kind of approach Dunless, and Dunless looks around and eventually picks a direction and begins moving. I assume all of you follow?
Yep.
Perfect. Dunless leads the way through the streets, trying to stick close to some of these buildings and motioning for all of you to do the same. Even though he can speak, he doesn't while out here. And is always kind of looking around, but especially up towards the sides of lots of these buildings. Occasionally stopping, motioning for all of you to stop, looking, continuing on. And it's sort of that as you make your way through these streets, which you can tell at this point, these are city streets. They are wide. For those of you who've been to Bermsley or places like that, it very much is reminiscent of that, but under the water. Many streets going this way and that, you can almost imagine that there once may have been carts or various different things like that. But now it is just dark. It is a dark, abandoned city. And you eventually see, as you crest around the corner from one of these, one of the larger spires, you see that there's one building that's a little distance from you at this point that has lights. You see, very faintly, there are lights from within this building. It's at the end of a long street, sort of the capstone at the end of this street. And it looks like it has a big dome on the top, which is where you see a lot of the light coming through. It's a very wide building, and you can see many shapes moving around it. Which I'd say, Seth, you have slightly better vision, so I'll say you see this detail a little clearer. These things moving around appear to be shambling tritons. They're walking on the floor instead of swimming. They're walking along very slowly, shambling about around the building. You're still too far to make out any clear detail, but you can see it a little better. And Dunless kind of points it out, making sure all of you see. And then he turns to you and very quietly says, "Under that building is where you want to go. But there are things outside, those who tread. What do you think we should do?"
Stealth is good. Stealth is great. I'm good at that.
I am not the most stealthy person. And
Neither am
you,
I.
yes, are a large friend here.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Perhaps some of you are not stealthy and some of you are. Perhaps a distraction? Lead some
That-
way?
Oh.
Looks at Seth.
Oh no.
What do you want me to do? Dress in drag and do the hula?
Just
I
cuts
think
to
either
them.
a magical distraction or one from
Would you like to repeat that one again,
Yeah,
Kyron?
you started
Kinda
getting really
Kind of cut out at the end.
Really
Sorry.
died.
I think that either a magical distraction or one done by one of you two, I gesture to Seth and Dunless, would likely be best, as the rest of us don't really have good movement.
Hey, I don't want to be a distraction. Still hugging to Seth.
Then maybe get off.
No, you're fast. I'm slow. Should have thought about that before
Everyone-
being a fish.
Everyone else is also rather slow in the water.
Yeah, well,
We
they don't have their own personal fish.
I've been keeping pace with them.
But you're faster.
Dunless
Get
is
off.
going to come up to you,
Okay.
Consolida. How are you supposed to sneak in if you are attached to Seth?
Seth, again, you're good at hiding, right?
Relatively, although I don't know how well it's gonna go in here.
So am I.
To be fair, kind of stick out a little bit in the dark.
Does
Uh,
and does anybody have a magical distraction?
Did I take that spell?
I'm not risking magic. Not again. Not right now.
I did
still
not.
don't even understand what happened.
I don't think I have anything.
There is nothing I have here that could be
Do you have
useful.
anything?
I technically have Thunderclap, but that kind of would alert everything to my exact location?
We're not risking you.
I mean,
So sweet of you.
I don't know what spells Ulrich has.
Not a clue.
No one does.
The
He's gonna
sound
look
and
at-
music.
you're gonna look at Dunless. We could do a distraction while they get in. We do move faster.
I suppose. As long as you get in and get out and get what you came for, that is what is important. How we do it does not matter to me.
So, we were told we can take anything else we want, right?
Yes.
Not
He's
by
gonna look
him.
at Concelida in particular. If you see anything I
Alright.
might be interested in, let me know.
What
Get
the
it for
hell
me.
would a... What would you... What? I don't know you personally on a deep level. I don't know what you would like. Just tell me what you would like.
I don't know what's in there.
Gold, probably? Or shinies? Do you like shinies? Do you want a rock? I don't know. Specify.
I will.
Things of
Keep an
value
eye.
aren't exactly useful.
If I find a statue of Dunless, I'll bring it to you.
I'll keep an eye out for anything that you might be interested in, but be safe.
Yes, don't die. I've grown a liking to you.
Hold on just a second. If you
Okay.
could lend your ears for a moment. We might not need live bait. There are some tricks that we can do.
Well,
I have minor illusion.
Ooh.
Oh.
Right.
Ooh.
Thinking
Thunderclap
that, but
away.
I didn't take it. Oh,
Somewhere else.
yes, the sonar blip that wouldn't rupture any of our lungs or organs.
I'm built different.
You're just dead.
So we get the. So you lead them away with what you're planning, and then we all go in.
I would rather I'd be slightly further away from the stumbling, metal clanking fellows that wish to follow. Not that I don't want to meet the end with y'all. It's just I'm work better alone.
Well, I think we're all. I think it's more likely to survive if we're all together.
Yes, it's easy. It's more likely to survive if you're seen.
Do you think he could scout ahead?
Oh, sure, I can do that. That's totally what I had in plan.
Stay with the pack, Concelida.
You can either go alone or you can stay with us. You can't do both.
Scout ahead, but stay in a reasonable proximity of my darling companions.
I mean, if Dunless and I aren't doing the distraction, you can always stay with me.
Don't make that offer, because I will take it, and you will regret it.
I already made it.
Well,
But we're gonna make a deal out of it, okay?
sure. What's the deal?
He's going to grab her, both arms, pull her close. Say anything about Dunless again. And I ditch you.
Yeah, that seems fair.
By the way, the whole time after you had Concelida had said the thing about Dunless statue, he's been blushing like a fucking madman.
Uh,
Oh,
oh. Okay. So, the plan. Let's
The
go
plan.
and make sure we're all on the same page. What is the plan? Who is
I
distraction?
believe sapling
Magical
is going to make a
distraction.
minor illusion to distract.
Yes, sapling.
Definitely
Yes.
sapling.
Totally
Sapling.
Totally
sapling.
sapling.
Quote.
It's not the other centaur.
Of course.
No,
What
no,
other
certainly.
centaur?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's only one.
But so here's a question about that. What is that distraction going to look like? What is the magical distraction?
I was thinking, if there's, I don't really know what it looks like in front of us, but like probably a sound rather than a thing.
Okay.
Like probably a bit out of the way. The range on
Yeah.
this is 30 feet, so like not too far.
But move immediately as soon as it casts. Got it.
Well, so that's the thing, is sound does travel a little further, even if it's very muffled by the water. The sound waves themselves will travel. Volume can range from a whisper to a scream. So you definitely could do that. And with it being a range of 30 feet as far as like where the center of it can be placed, I would say, how far away from them are you trying to place this?
Just far enough that they can definitely hear it, but like that they won't look over and be like, there's nothing there, you know?
Okay. All right. Fair
Like
enough.
maybe behind some stuff.
Okay, that can do. Probably like, would you try to do like an alleyway behind one of the buildings that are close enough?
Yeah.
Okay, because you can kind of swim over and find that there's buildings on either side of the street, all the way up until this building, which is again shorter, squatter, dome on top, and these guys all around it. So I'd say you could probably get pretty close, maybe a block away. Okay, so that's what that's going to be. And what is the sound going to be?
So it says that it can range from a whisper to a scream, and I'm sure that's supposed to imply one or the other, but I was thinking that it could be like the sound of some voice like calling for help or something and growing more distressed over the minute duration.
You know what? Yeah, no, sure, that'll work. Because, yeah, it can be range from a whisper to a scream, so it can be anything in between. It can be your voice, someone else's, a lion's roar, a beating of drums, or any other sound you choose. So I would say, yeah, you could definitely do that. Just so it gets slightly louder, more distressed. That'll work. So that'll be what happens with the distraction. And then for the rest of you, clarify me if I'm wrong, you're all rushing up and going to attempt to find a way into the building once, hopefully, most of them leave. Are you going to be rushing for the front door? Because there is a front door that you can see. Or do you want to try to find a different way in? This is planning before you execute.
I don't necessarily have mobility options, so I just go where Seth goes.
Yeah.
Which is probably where Dunglas goes.
I would say the front door.
Front door. Okay. So, you guys are planning, distraction, rush for the front door. So, I would like Sapling. I would like you to go ahead and make a deception check.
I sure do wish that some dummy didn't talk me out of taking
I will guide you.
proficiency in it. You will guide me? What does that mean?
Add
It's extra
plus 1
D4, I think. Yeah.
A D4?
Yeah.
London. That is a 16.
16. Hey, that's pretty good. So you start making this, and then do you immediately start moving away? Because you're within 30 feet of where you cast it. You start moving away?
Yeah.
Okay, start moving away, getting out of the area, and this will last for a minute. So you guys have a minute of a distraction. You do immediately see, or I'll say after like a couple seconds, you see some of them look over in the direction and start moving, and then some of the others see them moving, start following along as well. And after a moment, there was some you didn't even see, because they were in dark corners that you just couldn't see them. A few dozen start making their way toward the sound. There are still a few left behind though, maybe 5. None of them directly near the door, so you do have a clear shot. Do y'all start moving?
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Let's
trying
go.
to move stealthily, or are you just going? And
Yes, I'm also gonna cover Blue with my cloak.
Okay, that's fair. So then that will help. I will say, Seth, go ahead and roll stealth check with advantage, because you're essentially getting help with from Concelida on that. Concelida, you are traveling with Seth. I'm not going to make you roll because you basically
I
aided
am
Seth's
backpack.
travel. Yeah, you've aided Seth's travel. So Seth, you're with advantage. The rest of you roll stealth. Flat roll,
No, it ain't.
or
It's
unless there's a
not.
reason you wouldn't be, like heavy armor.
Yep, not
24.
heavy, but
Oh yeah.
oh
fun.
good. It's a group stealth roll, so that's good. That 24 is gonna help us.
All right, let's put
Oh,
that
Not that much.
Oh god, Chiron!
That's a natural 1 for a total of 3.
Oh, don't.
So when I
It's
said I
not as
wanted
bad.
to go alone,
It's not as
hold
bad,
on.
but you're not alone. Don't worry.
24,
Kyron.
3. What was the others?
7.
15.
7, and did I hear
Well,
13?
15.
15.
15. My bad. And then,
Our
Ulrich,
other
are you
fishy
able to
friend?
roll?
yeah, if Ulrich, if you can roll a stealth check. If not, it doesn't matter too much. It could help the average or hurt the average.
It probably would help us severely if you roll high enough. However, you are Ulrich.
And what about Dunless? He could also help or hurt the average. I assume his dexterity is nothing to sneeze at, but I might be wrong.
It's a total of 20.
Okay, good.
Let's see who else can we spontaneously conjure here to help.
We can.
I will say the 20 and the 24 really gonna help,
It is.
and even that 15 is gonna help.
Quick, everyone start chanting in French. We need to summon our stand axle.
Yeah, summon your stand.
Jojo.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, not again! Megalovania starts to play and descend from above as a giant small purple rat starts to descend.
There's one eye glowing blue.
Wow. I was able to play Jorno's theme on piano. It was great.
Ulrich got a
Ooh,
21.
So much
from
fun to
Ulrich.
play on piano.
Oh, yeah. It really is. That's huge, though. Okay.
Ulrich, save me, please. And Chiron is
No,
like
21 from
Kingsley with
Ulrich
his
is huge.
bells. And Chiron is our Kingsley with the fucking bells.
Okay.
I'm going to grip him.
Please.
So I'm making sure I did this right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So divide by 7. Okay. The 20, like that all helped a lot. The 21 there helped a lot. But even with it, your total, I'll be nice, I'll round up. Normally I'd round down, I'll round up, I'll be nice, is a 13.
Mm,
In the middle of
and Chiron.
I start.
Yeah.
I swear to fucking God. Ah!
So
I got
here's
a
what
nat
happened.
Tuck him
Cool.
away under my apron.
Yeah. Here's
I want
what
to
happened.
store you away.
Seth and Consolida, you both collectively are making it forward very, very good, very well. You are able to go, and you are not seen. Even though, Seth, you do glow a bit, little bioluminescence, the covering did help a lot. But in Chiron, and it was Merrick as well, I believe were the two lowest, the 3 and the 7.
Yeah,
we
I
both
got
have
my nice little
disadvantage.
jingly
guys-
jangly chainmail.
Well, the jingly jangly chainmail, and in Chiron, you're not quite looking where you go, and then you run into Merrick and his jingly jangly chainmail, which makes it jingle jangle more. Yeah. I will say, they're starting to look over in your direction. And they've only really noticed the two of you, as far as you know. But my question is there anything that any of you can do to save the situation? You would have one action that you each could do to save the situation, and if it doesn't, then we're entering initiative. But you can.
Oh, I could have added something. I forgot. It doesn't matter
Well,
now.
What would it have been? Maybe I'll allow it.
It would have just been a d6 roll. That's all. That could have
If-
been added, but
I mean, if you want
can't
to,
really
you
do it
can.
now, since the roll's been made.
Oh, okay. If that's the wording on it, then yeah. Plus, I don't
I mean,
know if it would have saved it. I mean, you would probably have to get a 6 to really save
Right.
it. And even then.
Yeah.
Nobody
It's
can.
not like you can try to hide again.
Yeah, if nobody
No,
can
you can do
move-
anything but roll another stealth check.
Yeah, if nobody has anything to actually save the situation, my action would be the dash action.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Because I will say, you
Yeah,
guys,
my
this is right
action was
before you
gonna
get to
just
the door.
ditch your ass.
This is- okay. So if nobody
Roll.
has anything to save the situation, to basically save the stealth check,
I'd like to try.
then
I warned people.
yeah, I mean, if any of you
This
have
would
anything,
happen.
say so.
Hmm.
I could cast light on one of the creatures and make them glow.
Let me ask you, what's the
That's a
range on
touch
light?
spell.
It's a touch spell.
Is a
Oh,
touch
that's
spell.
something. I have something.
Is it a touch? Yeah.
I could cast dancing lights and make
Oh.
lights show up elsewhere.
You could definitely try. That would be a deception check, and you could try to gain their attention.
I shall try that instead, and I'll make them appear
How
as a
tall is
glowing
in Chiron?
figure instead of as lights.
Okay, you can do that with dancing lights. So yeah, go ahead. And
Yeah.
if this and
And
then
I'm
make a
5'8".
deception check.
Okay, and that's actually like 120 feet, so I can put it away.
Yeah,
The
send
range
that
on that
shit
is a
far.
It's far, so that's a deception check? Okay.
Yep.
Lesson learned. Never party stealth with these jingly bastards.
You said you could scout ahead.
Yeah, I said I could, but then I was persuaded by certain someone to stay with the party for a higher chance of
That
survival.
is an 18.
18. Okay,
Yes.
that is higher than they rolled. So what happens is their heads are starting to turn to the sound. And then the light appears in front of them a distance away. And they immediately just let out this sort of and just start rushing in that direction.
Seth, get inside.
okay.
Seth, get inside. Seth, move inside.
Yeah, we hurry and
So-
try to get, not here.
Okay. You rush up to the door. You rush, we'll say Seth and Consolida, you get there first because the higher swim speed, but also you had better stealth, so there was no need to stop and do things. You get there, and you go up to the door. You grab the handle. You pull. Nothing. Then you push. Nothing. There's something blocking the inside of the door. You could try to push through it and risk making noise.
Seth, go
or
up to
you
a
could
window.
Try to find another way in.
We're trying to...
I have no
So-
idea what you're saying, Chiron.
We're trying to go down. It's in the basement.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe go
Sometimes you need
sideways
to go-
look for a window.
Yes.
Okay, you want to look for a window? I want one of you to roll me either perception or investigation. Just one of you.
Worst
I got
comes to
some
worst,
whack ass
I'd-
perception.
Worst
Please.
comes to worst, I'd be willing to help Sapling, move anything with strength.
That is also an option.
I would like to remove myself from the noisemakers.
Yeah, okay, you want to separate yourself from Seth?
No, not yet. But if they keep this, I'm.
Okay. So, is
Run,
Seth
leave them
rolling
here.
perception, or is someone doing something else?
I'm rolling perception.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
2's a 20.
Uh,
A 20?
Yes.
Okay. With the 20, you kind of back up, start moving around, looking around, dodging the few that remain. The few enemies, although they are a bit further away and not quite looking in your direction, just kind of staying out of line of sight. You move around the side, and you do see there is a window. And actually, it's interesting. This building, compared to all the others that didn't have like glass windows, these do. Although this one has, it's odd. It looks like glass, but there's a weird shimmering. And do you think Seth's curious enough he'd touch it? Yeah. Reach your hand out and touch it, and your hand passes through. And there's no water on the other side. You can pass
Just
through
on
it.
his shoulder.
There's no water. Yeah.
Hey, what
And
the
you would see
fuck?
this as well.
Stick her hand through it as well.
Yeah. It's like passing through. It feels thick, like there's resistance. But your hand just passes through.
Gesture to the jingle makers. And then to the fake window.
All right. Right over there. Just
Swim over, walk over, move.
I will say, all of you, now that there are ample distractions, although the sound has just stopped. It's been about a minute, the noisemaker stopped. So at this point, it's time to move. So you all make your way in. It is, there's a floor directly on the other side. It's a tiny bit of a drop, but not enough to like, fall. It's enough that you can see, prep, and land easily.
To help people as they're coming through.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And it
I will
is
not be riding Seth if we are on land.
you are on a floor, and it's actually, compared to everything else in this area, this place looks pristine. It is clean. There's no sign of rot. Rotten floorboards. The floor is polished wood. Every window that you can see is this shimmering glass, like the one you pass through. But something you do see is this is just a large, empty room. There's a staircase on the far side that leads upward, a large circular room with these windows at so many intervals, pillars going up to the ceiling, which you can see now is this same shimmering glass. It is a shimmering glass sort of dome on top where the light was shining through. And there are, again, lights all throughout this area. They look most similar to the magical lights that you would be familiar with in some cities. They don't appear to be made of fire. They just appear as points of light. And as you look around, you just see this room, but the only thing that really catches your eye otherwise is at the bottom of the staircase, bones. Just piles of bones. And what looks like ash surrounding them, and it's at the very bottom of the staircase.
This place is awful in every aspect.
Yeah. Now this staircase goes up. At a glance from, this is all what you see from where you are. You do not see a way down.
I will
Um,
then turn to a Dunless and how is it that we get to this vault?
There was a staircase. It was right there, and he points next to the staircase. There was a staircase that went down right there. There must be a way to find it. I don't know where it is.
I'll
Well,
walk
then
up to the bones.
I will search for a switch of some kind.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Investigation check.
investigate the bones and see if those bones and ash fill up the entirety of what's supposed to be a downstairs.
Here's a question for you. Do you go like right up to it, or are you looking from a distance? This will mainly affect what roll you make.
Yeah, sure, I'll go up to the
I rolled the
The
exact
remains.
same thing.
That's funny. Go ahead and roll an
13.
investigation or medicine check for the bones. And then you said a 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to
You
use
walk around,
medicine.
and I'll see what this roll is first, and then I'll tell you both what you find.
I use medicine, so that's 23.
23. Perfect. I'll get yours in a second. As for the switch or button, you walk around, and again, this place is pristine. It looks like it's been cleaned every day for however long it's been here. You see a similar flag as to what you saw in the city center building, the side profile of a woman's face on the blue background. You see more bodies as you go around, but these are also complete ash. Some of them are behind pillars. Some of them are sitting in chairs in some of the rooms. This does look like a building people once resided in. But something you also see are larger skeletons of what look like great beasts, each of them with a plaque in front of them with words on them in that same strange language, which you can read partially. They have strange names for some of these creatures. Most of them end with a similar sort of suffix, saurus being the suffix for most of them, but not all of them. And they're just these bones of very large creatures, which you would have seen places like this in some of the larger cities, although they're not as common. This is what you would call a museum. And you can now kind of, with that information looking around, you look up toward the glass ceiling. This was an observatory. There's a large, almost what looks like a large spyglass sticking out the top of the building. This was, at one point, a observatory for looking at the stars. And this is a sort of museum. And as you're looking around, you do see, tucked behind, there's like a big pedestal along one of the walls, behind one of these large creatures, which identifies itself, from best you can read, as a stegosaurus. You'd have to kind of go beneath its legs and toward the wall, as it's far behind it. But there is what looks like a lever. You're not sure if this would do what you're hoping, but it is the only one you've seen.
I will cautiously push the lever.
Okay. Push the lever. There is a slight shaking. And Kinselida, the floor next to you, not where the bodies are, but next to the staircase, kind of where Dunless pointed out, starts to slide open. And you start to see a staircase leading down. And I will tell you what you get from the bodies, what you see, and then something else after the break, because it's about time. I wanted to get to that description. So we're going to go ahead and take our break. We'll be back in 10, 15 minutes-ish, I guess. And we'll get to the description of what you see. See you soon.
Y'all are weird.
Back to the past. Here we go. We're live. So back to the past. So first off, I want to start off with Consolida. You were investigating the body's got a very good roll. You chose medicine, so here's what you're gonna get. The bodies are not as deep as you were thinking. They are not blocking some kind of secret entrance. They are very much on the floor. There are 6 bodies, although you definitely have to look through because they are not all in one piece. They, from your best guess, they were either burnt to ash or vaporized in some way. Long story short, there is ash, and then there are bones. The bones, however, do not look charred, so it's probably not fire. Then you start to see the thing opening, and you're close enough that you can see this is a staircase that leads into a darker below area, but with similar cleanliness. But at the top of the stairs, you hear large footsteps that stop. Do you look?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at the bottom of the stairs among the corpses, and you see at the top of the stairs there is a large figure. In a kind of way, a larger, longer bottom half, like a centaur, but not quite. Instead of being more like a horse, it looks more like a large beast of some kind, but black fur, very long fur. The top half is clad in a very beautiful, if not macabre, coat. Very vibrant colors, blues and cyans. But you can see stitched into it, or possibly it once was, faces.
Oh my god.
You see the person themselves wearing a very simple white tunic, and you kind of now are getting to realize it was not a woman's face on the flag, it was a man's. This man's. As he kind of is looking off to the side and matches up perfectly. Long hair, and he looks to you, looks to all of you at this point.
I come back in.
Yeah, come back in.
There's dragons.
Yeah. Welcome to my city. You are guests here, and I wanted to welcome you properly. I hope you found things well.
It's very wet and dark.
Of course, those from the surface aren't always accustomed. And for reference, their face. This is not a Triton. Looks elven. Possibly from the color of the skin, very this person very dark, sort of tan skin, possibly wood elven, but it's hard to really tell. Not drow or high elf, though. Well, what have you come into my home for? I see you found my staircase. Looking toward the open staircase down. What have you come for?
I will go towards. I'll go next to Seth,
Okay.
just to be prepared.
I
Okay.
want to sidestep away from in front of him towards the stairs.
Toward the stairs down. Okay. Where are you going? Looking at you, Consolida. It's okay. You can speak. I promise. This is a place of safety and security. If you're worried about these corpses here, they were trespassers. They were people who came and wished me harm. Do you wish me harm?
I don't.
No,
don't?
no.
What are you? Who are you?
I
Well,
look at Dunless and try to gauge his reaction to this.
I
Make
don't
an
like
insight
being
check.
directly in front of him. Help!
Can I also make an insight check with that?
Is this on Dunless or is this
Yes.
on... Okay, yes, go ahead.
Wait, so are you
Ooh.
describing us
That's
to
a
us?
natural 20 for a total of 27.
Very good.
Wait.
I
And
got 19.
Val,
yes.
are you describing to me what I can essentially have a picture in my brain? Is an underwater necromancer who has a furry centaur lower half. Is that what I'm? Is that what's been described correctly?
So, kind of. Let me be a little more specific. First, never said this was the necromancer. That is an assumption, but was never specifically said. As for the lower half, it isn't horse-like. It is not horse-like, but that is the best thing I can call it. Also, is currently sitting. Is not laying down, but is sitting. With like all the what would be the legs underneath, so you can't see if they are horse hooves or not.
I have a question.
Yes.
Out of character, I have a question. Is this what I think it is? Is he what I think he is?
I don't know, because I don't know what you think he is.
There are two other characters that I know of personally that are also this thing.
Please send me what you're talking about, because maybe.
Okay.
Guys, we found him. It's the other
Also-
centaur.
That's so
He's
funny.
real.
Like,
He's
even
also
you're sitting there
wearing
like,
a,
I didn't think he was real.
He's also wearing a coat He's also wearing a coat that may or may not be made of skin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
let me
it's
see.
pink.
faces specifically, which I don't want to be directly in front of this. Ugh.
I'm sure this is a totally normal, chill guy.
Yeah, I totally want to go
Yeah.
away. I want to.
Okay.
I am.
But yeah,
That's
my
very funny, though, Connor, that's what you thought of.
27.
Okay, sorry. What were the rolls for Dunless? Inside check?
I got 27.
27,
Which-
and Seth, you were rolling as well. What was yours?
19.
19? Okay. Dunless is definitely on guard. And from what you can gather, this might be the guy. Please, stay a while. I have so much I can show you. Not just in my home, but in the city, and this place, this wonderful place left to us by the ancestors. It's full of the spirits from the before time. You've probably seen some of them, these great beasts that once roamed the planet. I'm bringing us back to our glory. Please, stay, let me show you.
Certainly, we'd love to learn more.
What the
Of
fuck
course,
do you mean, we?
knowledge is so important. Knowledge, someday, once this building is above the waves, knowledge of the stars. Through this observatory, I'll be able to see so much more than I ever have. And he looks up toward the dome.
Big
this-
eyes.
Yeah, looks up toward the dome, this reverence in his face. Please, don't run. Oh, and I believe one of you asked for my name. I should introduce myself. My name is Zeno Karfra. Or sorry, Karfira is how it's supposed to be said.
I don't know how to pronounce my name.
I don't know how to write that.
Yes, I've been.
I've
here
got
so
such a
long.
cool, badass necromancer name that I don't even know how to say it. So fuck you.
Yeah.
Based.
That means so you can't cast like identify on him or something. No, identify scry. You don't know how to say his name.
What was his name again?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. So, what are you all doing? Are you still all inching toward the?
I'm going down. I'm gonna take a step
I'm
down, making
moving
direct eye
closer.
contact.
Okay.
I'm very intrigued by this person.
He's going to look at you taking the step down. I wouldn't go down there. It's very dangerous. I'd hate for you to get hurt.
What's
Oh, stares at his.
what's dangerous?
Well, it's... How to put this? I was trying to silence the words of a very dangerous being, and the only way I could was to eliminate the power in the city, to silence her song. But the only place I can't silence her is here, or I would silence my own interests. She is still down there.
No one cause a distraction.
And for those of you that were looking at Dunless, at the mention of silencing her and all of that, he looks pissed. Which, Seth, you made the check. You're realizing that I think you're not super smart, but you know about what Dunless was teaching you, and you had some interest in it. The silencing of her was the silence of their goddess, more than likely.
Yeah.
He automatically, even not looking at Dunless, lets out a guttural growl.
Zeno looks to you. I promise. And then he finally looks at Dunless. I only have your best interests at heart.
I will cast Warding Bond on the set.
Okay.
I would like to press escape.
That is +1 AC and +1 to all you save. They're within 60 feet of me as well as take half.
Good.
Was that on Seth?
What? That's
That
on
was
set.
on Seth.
Okay.
I can't cast it on anyone else.
At
Yeah, I
this
press
point,
escape. I'm
As
leaving.
you-
I'm done.
as you
I'm
press-
out. Bye.
as you
Just
press
gone.
escape. Are you gonna like run down the stairs or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
I said I wasn't fighting. I'm not fighting. I'm leaving. I'm here to do one job and one job only, and I'm done.
Then you don't see this, but you hear this. But the
Leaving,
rest of
bye.
you see this. As you go down the stairs, he looks, lets out a very deep sigh, and he begins to stand. Each of his 6 legs are comprised of bodies. Each of them are broken and contorted. They're basically standing on their hands on the ground, lifting his large form, and they begin to scream and cry and bleed and beg for you all to stay. I need you all to make a charisma save, including Consolida, who can still hear this.
Is this against me, John?
yeah.
This is against being charmed. So if
Yes!
anything against being charmed, you do, if there's anything for that.
I
Keep
do
that in mind
get
and go and
advantage
post in dice
on
rolls.
this.
I got a
You get +1 to this
20.
saving throw.
Oh, very good.
Enough.
23 for Consolida.
I take it I can't add resistance to either of our saving throws because I did the whole warding bond before this. And
If
resistance is an
resistance was
action.
a reaction, you could.
Yeah, but resistance is an action.
Yeah. Okay, we're very good. And I'm waiting to see.
I haven't.
And I will say, for the sake of this, Ulrich is basically playing lookout. So for like when the others, the zombies come back, since Ulrich is not here. Okay. I think is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, Dunless. 1 second. Dunless, his face drops and all look of anger leaves as he's charmed. And
Fuck.
Kyra,
Oh no.
you see Kinsella begin to run. You see him stand this horrific, macabre scene. But something about the voices of these people go from a scream to a pleading, and you can't help but feel in your heart that you have to stay and at least make sure these people will be okay. But they seem okay. And you are charmed as well. The rest of you are unaffected. Kinsella, you're running down the stairs, you hear this, like, fuck that.
No, I'm out.
Fuck that noise.
Literally, fuck that. So
They're fine. They're strong. They have Merrick. They have Sapling. They're fine. They're peachy. They have Seth. Dunless. I'm just gonna get the object and leave. Bye.
fair enough. So he
Don't get
begins
yourself
to-
killed.
He begins to take steps down the stairs. The question I have for the rest of you is, Kinsella, to clarify, are you actually going to continue running through there? That is an option.
Yes,
Or are you
I'm
going
searching
back?
for this vault.
Okay, then-
No.
Then you are not going to be in question for any of this. I'll get to you in a moment. For the rest of you that are up there, though, are you going to attempt to run or fight? Because that will determine if you need to roll initiative.
I'm gonna be charmed.
Well, you are charmed.
I don't know.
That, yeah.
There's no way to like try to shake Encheiron out of this, is there?
You could definitely
If
try.
it's like a
You could definitely try. You tell me what you want to do. I'll tell you what happens.
Bitch slap him.
I mean, not bitch slap. However, it's like close enough. Like, hey, come on, just like a light patch, not a slap.
With your metal hand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let me check something here, and I might have to
Brian
make you do a
Pan
thing.
sound effect echoes throughout the entire castle.
All of China knows we're here.
Just slap Seth instead, and Chiron will take the damage. Seth doesn't know that, though.
No, he doesn't.
I'm not trying to hurt him or anything.
I will say you would have to deal at least 1 point of damage, but it would work. So
I don't
you
want
Break his
to hurt him.
nose.
He's so squishy.
yeah, so you would have to make an unarmed strike and do whatever that damage is, which is 1 plus your strength modifier. And
Can
then
I
that
pull
would work.
If I'm doing an unarmed strike, can I pull it so it's not at 6 points of damage?
Okay, you know what? I'll allow it. You are a fighter. I will allow that to work. So it would still be 1 point of damage, but do you do so? You do the punch?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, you go, whack, and in Chiron, you immediately, you feel this
Does he have
searing
to
pain.
roll?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and roll. See if you hit. You might miss. Who knows?
You might chicken out.
I can't let him have to hit me in this state.
True. This is very true.
That's a 23 to hit.
Oh,
That does hit.
Yeah, there you go. You feel in Chiron this searing pain. Like, how much health do you have?
17.
Most of your health gets as this hits you in the side of the face, and you look and you see it's Merrick, and then you realize those weren't cries for whatever, these were screams. This is horrible. We're in a bad place. This is bad. Let me do a quick roll. Yeah, okay. Dunless sees that happen. And he looks up toward the guy on the top of the stairs who just stops walking and gives a nod.
No.
And I need you all to roll initiative against
No!
Dunless.
I don't want to.
lol.
I don't want to kill your love interest.
Dunless was charmed. But yeah, Dunless was charmed by this man. And
All you
so
have
was
to do is
Encheiron.
deal 1 damage. It's fine. This man's
luck.
stronger.
Don't worry.
Oh
full
gosh.
What do you mean, good luck?
Dunless
He was built
is
to
the
fight.
Same level. Dunless is the same level as you guys. but he's also, as you kind of saw in the last combat for a very few seconds, he's a paladin. Paladins are built to be tanky and damage dealing. So you could hit him. But we'll see. It depends on how good your luck is, how quick this goes.
I really want to fight Dunless, but not like this.
And you don't have to kill him. You just have to deal 1 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me write out the
I'm not
initiative.
here to witness your deaths. I am not guilty.
Basically, we're going to do
I'm in a
this
court
quick
of
little
law, you're
combat
aiding and
here.
abetting.
Yeah. We'll do this quick
No, I'm
little
not. I'm not
combat
there.
encounter, and then we will go over to Consolida after this combat encounter.
Yeah, no, that's alright.
Do I spend a spell?
Y'all got this.
Or
Please
do
live.
I'm gonna live.
Kyron
Okay,
won't.
got everyone. So,
I'm
first up is
sorry,
Dunless.
I played it
He had a 21.
Oh.
So he is going to rush up to Merrick, because Merrick is the aggressor here. I actually need to double check and make sure I have
Metal pipe
the
sound
right
effect.
amount of damage. I don't want to give him too much because he uses his trident. Want to make sure. I feel like it does it not have reach? I thought it had reach. Guess not. Okay, so he's going to go up. I'll say he's one-handing this. He has a shield in one hand and his trident in the other. He's going to make an attack on you, Merrick. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
That
good
will
roll.
hit, and I cannot prevent that.
Okay, and then he's going to... You know what? Here's what I'll do. He's got a second attack. I'm going to have him roll for that. And then I'll give you the damage as a total if this hits.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 19 to hit.
And 19, we're going to block that one with a shield. Just a quick, brief necromantic flash of energy.
Perfect. Okay, so one will hit. He is going to throw a Divine Smite on this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and give you that. I don't remember, for any reason, do you need me to split the damage radiant and piercing, or can I just give you as a total?
You can just give it to me as a total.
Got it.
Unless there's poison involved, in which case that's resisted.
There's not.
Alright. No tetanus damage.
No. This is a good weapon. He has one of the good ones. With the total Divine Smite damage there's some good rolls, I'll tell you that, so don't be too alarmed. That's gonna be... Sorry, I'm double checking my math. 20 damage.
Alright. Not bad.
And so he hits you, and this is a good hit, like a solid hit. He rushes, and you saw him at the very last second, because he's an ally. You mainly saw in Chiron under this. He comes up from the side and just catches you off guard. You saw it after the first hit, though, and so you block the second one, and he's right in your face, and he looks pissed. Like, all that anger he had at that other guy is now directed at you. Let me double check and see if there's something he can do as a bonus. I want to make sure. I don't believe so. So that's his turn. In Chiron, you're up next. He is within 5 feet of you, having just attacked Merrick.
I could spend a spell slot and get him out of this.
Good.
But I'm not very low on spell slots.
You could also just try to punch him. That is also an option.
Yes. But I
Up to you.
think I will disengage as
Good
my
idea.
action and walk not super far away, but I will I will move next to, move just back 5 feet next to Seth. I'm not gonna go like far, far away, but I will disengage and step back so that he's not in melee.
Okay, that works.
And I think that'll be my turn.
Okay, that works. You got out of the danger area. That's a good idea. Okay, so then that's your turn. It'll be over to Seth now. Dunless is attacking Merrick.
Gonna try an unarmed strike on him.
Okay, unarmed strike it is. Are you trying to pull this? It would only do 1 damage, but you could. Or are you giving the full brunt of it?
Pull. He's not pulling.
Okay,
Seth doesn't pull punches.
okay.
It's a 22 to hit.
Let me double check.
Oh.
22? Sure you didn't say 23?
Yeah, definitely. 23 is what I said.
No,
My
it was
favorite
it was
number.
actually 22.
Yeah, it's 22.
Just misses.
Mm.
And
Flurry of
actually,
blows.
I will flurry of blows. Be my guest. I will tell you why, so you know I'm being fair here. So heavy armor, my homebrew rules, which same for you guys, is you can add a +2 from Dex if you have +2 or less, or +2 or more. So it's a type of plate. So it's that plus the 2, that's 20. He has the defense fighting style, which brings it to 21, and he's wielding a shield for +2. It's a 23.
Wait, you let us add dex to our heavy armor if it's above a certain threshold?
Yeah, so you know how some medium armors you can add like a +2 max? Yeah, if you haven't been doing that, do that. Yeah.
Well, I know for a
have a
fact
dex
that
as a
Merrick
bump stat.
does not.
That's
But
the reason why I went with dexterity.
Oh yeah. If you have like a +1 to your dex, you can add that, or +2. But
Okay.
if you have a +3 or above, you cannot add that. You can only add a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, new goal.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I mean I was talking to it's actually a rule from my previous DM. He was like, yeah, that because heavy armor doesn't restrict you that much, so he was just like, let's add it.
Yeah. Okay, that's really something. Okay.
Oh yeah.
23. We got to beat that.
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
wanna
lot, but it's doable. It is very doable. Also, this is not something you normally would have to fight, so...
Yeah.
Actually, instead I'm going to use my bonus action to attack, because that is a thing with monks that I keep forgetting exists.
Uh-huh.
you're not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fair.
Save a key point.
That's a 24.
That will hit. That will hit. I'm curious how much damage it is, just so I can mark it down on his HP.
Oh, I'm doing, because I said he doesn't pull punches.
Yep.
Ooh. It's 9.
Oh, whew. Okay, hefty hit. And you jab. Where do you jab him at?
He'd be aiming for a weak point in the armor, but trying not to hurt him more than he has to.
Okay, okay. So almost looking for a weak point, but somewhere that's not like you're not getting up under a plate. Like, okay. So you do so, and it is a hefty hit. And he doubles over a little bit. And he looks at you with the rage in his eyes that fades. And then he looks up toward the man on the stairs. Just his eyes. Still looking at you, eyes up toward the man on the stairs. And he says, "Move." Do you move? Oh.
Yeah.
Now that the charm has been broken on those who were charmed, do we want to stay in initiative? Or do we want to break and you guys run. What is the play? And then we'll move over to Consolida. Are you fighting or running is the question.
How
If-
big is this thing?
Anybody is staying behind, so am I. And that includes Dunless.
That's fair. How big is the guy was your question, Merrick?
Yeah.
He is...
Big.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably in the 10 to 15 foot tall range. Probably, I'd say about 12 foot. He's got a slight hunch, but that's roughly his height. Most of it's in the legs, because these are like full-size people. Full-size Tritons, I should say. So yeah, he's about in that range. As far as what you're saying in Chiron about if anyone's going to stay, Dunless is about to do something, but you don't know if he's going to stay yet. This is like in the immediate right now. What's the play? Is anyone else following Consolida downstairs or leaving the building? Does anyone just want to dip? Just say peace out. I'm out.
Nah, you all have morals and prides. I don't.
I don't want Consola to get hurt, but I know she can take care of herself. And Chiron, on the other hand,
And Chiron, please, for the love of God, keep Chiron alive.
yeah, if Chiron looks like he's hesitant, I'm just like hunkering down, guarding stance, weapon soon to be ready.
Okay. This creature, this person, comes down the stairs the rest of the way, and as his final foot, I guess you could call it, hits the ground, the skull of one of these ashen bodies crushes under the skull of one of these people. Which, by the way, while, yes, their legs are up, on the ground, sometimes the legs buckle and collapse, and it's just their head crashing onto the ground. These people are not supposed to be used as legs. And so this Xenos' walk is very disjointed, very lumbering. And he takes the last step down, and he starts to position himself in front of the staircase.
About no.
So, we're doing this. And now we're going to go over to Consolida.
Aye, how many turns have happened?
We're not going to go turns for you, because
Okay.
we're just going to go off of time. As far as actual turns, less than one for the whole
Okay.
bloodless thing. And all of that was pretty quick. So we're going to kind of just see what's going on with you to start off, and then we will... I'm guessing we're probably getting in combat for them, so we'll go from there. So, you get down to the bottom of the stairs, and there's one direction to go, which is to the right. Down to the right, you see, at just a glance, what is your passive perception?
15.
15, pretty good. You see there is a hallway in front of you. At the very end of it, it opens up into a room, and you see a very large circular door.
It's my one direction to go. I guess I'll go that way.
Okay. It's very simple, very simply built. Hallway and door. You're just walking down the hallway?
No, running. I'm leaving. Fuck that.
You're running down the
Bye.
hallway.
Yeah, as
I need you
quietly
to-
as I can.
What is your speed?
My speed is just 30.
Okay. I need you to make me 2 dexterity saving throws.
Well, Faberdack.
You're running down the hallway. You don't see there were traps.
That makes sense. First one's a 21.
Good.
Second one's a... Help, 17 plus 6.
23.
And 3.
You take first step, and you were just a little too fast for the arrow that whizzes right behind you. And the second one, you see it coming quickly enough that as you trip the wire, you duck as something swings just over your head.
This is fine. This is okay. I'm alive. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Do you continue to rush forward, or do you stop
Okay.
and be careful?
I'll take some heed with attempting to be quick
Okay.
because behind me is just a straight no. Thank you.
Yes.
I would like to avoid going that way at all costs.
Okay. Then, so you are taking some heed. You are looking a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Then go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation. What's that? 17.
17. You do see that this one, there was one of the plates in the floor was slightly raised, and you kind of start looking around, and you do see there were these, almost in the shape of the serpent that you fought in the wall. There are these serpent's mouths. They're open, and they have an opening in the center. You're not sure what would come out of it, but something.
I'm in a Skyrim dungeon, aren't I?
Sure.
Okay. Let's just leave. Let's just move. Door. There's a door
Okay,
right there.
just
There's
going
a
around it.
creature behind me. There's a door in there. Just let me.
What? You don't want to trigger it and see what would happen? I'm kidding.
No, I'll pass on the fried consolida today.
Okay. So you make your way past, and there's nothing else. You take a quick look, I'll say with the same roll. You don't see any others. You make your way into this large room, and there is this big, mostly circular door. You can tell it's the door because it's a different color entirely. It is metal compared to everything else, which is stone around you. There is very faint light by it, and you do see a hole in the center for this pearl to be placed.
Oh, okay.
I would like to remind you. Do you remember what it said?
Bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah, just run that back.
Just so you know what you're doing, or you have some thoughts.
Look, I've
Because
either
I
go
think this
forward
is
and
something-
unleash a horrible evil, or go backwards and deal with that.
So what do you do?
I'm here to steal a fucking relic. Or just that's all. I'm
You're here to steal a fucking relic, so you put it in its place?
Don't kill me.
So you put it in, and
I'll
nothing
move out of the way of
happens.
the door.
You move out of the way, and it just sits there. And then you start to feel a faint vibration as the door begins to shift inwards. There's no grinding. There's no scraping along the ground. It's as if it's hovering in place. It shifts inward perfectly, and then begins to just not roll, but just shift to the side into a recess behind where it was.
This is a cool ass door. What horrors befall me?
There is a rush of air into the chamber, and you see nothing for a moment except a dark, dirty hallway. Do you move toward the door?
I mean, she's kind of like sideways, like peering her at the threat from the door. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, so you peer over, and there's nothing. And then you see a face as somebody just appears in front of you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How can I assist you today?
You're not gonna eat me, are you?
Why would I eat you?
Look, hi, hello. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Who are you?
I don't know. And this is, at a glance, looks to be a human man, maybe in his mid to late 20s. Very clean-cut brown hair, wearing a simple white shirt. Maybe like a white button-down shirt. Hello.
Okay. This is. I need to find something.
What do you need to
Important.
find?
Insert description of religious artifact.
I believe I've seen something like this. Please follow me. And he disappears, and then reappears slightly down the hallway.
Oh. Follow him.
Okay. So you begin to follow, and you see that down this hallway there are various doors. Metal doors, smaller than the one you came through. And it's very dusty in here. You don't even see footprints, as if somebody hasn't been in here in a very long time.
I'm guessing Mr. Pop in and out of existence doesn't leave any behind either.
No, he simply appears, and then appears slightly down the hallway, leading you in a direction. Something you do see, though. Tattered pictures on the wall. Large pictures just sort of plastered on the wall. Many of them are discolored, but all of them seem to share a visage of the same woman that fits vague descriptions of what the idol was. And all of them have strange symbols and wording on it that you can kind of read. It seems to be the same language that's throughout the rest of the city. English, but not quite. The one you can actually make out pretty clearly, as most of the words seem to be the same, the language you know, and it essentially says, "Serve your country, and you shall live forever."
I'm in North America. Send help. It's fine. Okay. Follow the weird office worker that works here.
Okay.
Ghost.
Yeah, follow the ghost. And every once in a while, he says, "So, wow, what has brought you to this place? Just this artifact?"
Yep, just that. Nothing else.
Idol might be something like that, by the way. You know, somebody made a guess. Might be something similar.
Oh, no.
Oh, y'all are too smart for me. You were eventually led to a room. The lettering has mostly faded away. I could have made a joke. I'm not gonna make that joke because it would have been really dumb. I was gonna say, but I can't say that or it would give away the joke. Fuck. God damn it. Most of the lettering has faded. There's a G, there is a T, an O, and a P. That's all that's really left over. But you are led inside by this man who he kind of appears, and then there are many, many desks and tables in this room filled with various objects. Some of them do look to be gold in color, some of them silver, and there are many statues. Small statues similar to the idol you were told to find. Which is green in color, wearing a crown. Royalty, in a way you could say. Holding a book of knowledge and a torch of prosperity. But that's what you find.
Back in the fucking building again!
Listen,
where
I
she
described a metal vault door and how all the doors are made of metal. You're in an underground city. Come on.
I hope I'm back in the fucking... is there a specific statue in the center that I can just take?
There is
Anything
one
that seems
that
important.
is larger than the others. It seems like it's slightly larger than the others. There are a few like that, but the others are maybe the size of, like, like this. This one is like a trophy size, where the others are like an action figure.
It's so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna go up to it.
You gonna grab it? Okay. Or are you gonna go up to it? Yeah, it's sitting there, and you can see that there is... That's really funny. There is, at the bottom of this one, there is a button. As all of these larger have a button next to them. And then you can pick it up, you can take it. It's not like bolted down, it's just on a table.
I'm gonna stick that in my bag.
Okay. So you have that, you have the idol, but there are other things in here as well. Like I said, there are some things that look to be made of gold. Some of them are just cutlery, just golden cutlery. Spoons, forks, knives, all made of what look like solid gold. Some a pristine silver, all looking completely untouched in neat boxes. A lot of them have various inscriptions on them. There's also rolled up scrolls in the corner.
Scrolls, you're
all
saying?
of them looking, yeah, scrolls, rolled up, looking identical to each other, all wrapped in a very nice red, white, and blue ribbon.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll take a box of cutlery, I guess, and then go over to the scroll and have a look at one. I'm sure this is fine.
You want to unroll the scroll?
Do I hear the fucking anthem? I swear to God.
You don't hear anything, but would you like to just take a quick glance and start reading it?
Sure, Val, what have you prepared for us?
Not what I prepared.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Ah!
You tell me when you stop reading, because that you're reading. I don't want to. This is just what you read. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with one another, and to assume among the powers of the earth to set the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. This is the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, I gather. I'll stop reading this.
Okay. I would have kept reading. I would have read and told you to stop.
I'm sure somewhere in Galliard's old adventures with Zernes Viosa, I would have heard something along the lines of Myrka. I'll take one of those.
You probably would have heard of it, but yeah. Well, there you go. We the people. So, yeah, you take one of them. Yep. Hold on. I want to see what Sabling's coming up with right now. I want to see if you're realizing a thing. Yeah, uh-huh. Uh-huh. It was called Myrkalid, by the way, if you're forgetting its name.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Also, I'll just tell you the dumb joke I was going to make that I kind of made. You're in the gift shop right now. The letters
I picked up that it may or may not be the Smithsonian Museum gift shop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been made canon in this world that places aren't where they should be, so something like this could just be at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes. Is there any other doors in this place?
In this little room, not in this room, but going back out to the hallway, there are various other doors. Some of them labeled, some not. I would say there are 3 other doors that you immediately see. Would you like to take a peek?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see what other American things I can find. AK-47s. Heck yeah.
That's not even America. Fuck off. Anyway.
Look, you have guns. I don't know what guns Americans have. All I know is that they go through people.
True. As God intended. So,
I am the British person here. I don't know guns.
Of course. So you make your way into. I'll just go through really briefly, just a quick glance. First room is similar to a lot of the stuff up top that has like these large bones of creatures that you would have seen. This one appears to have other bodies as well, although these are wrapped in what looks like cloth. Some of them in large metal coffins. Some of these coffins you can see are closed. Some of them are not, but the ones that are closed have what look like people. Like the images and visages of people on them. And there are strange weapons as well around the room, some similar to ones you've seen, scimitars and things like that, but some are very large, curved, almost like if you took a scimitar and a sickle almost and mixed them together.
A scythe?
Not quite a scythe. There's an actual name for it, but I can't think of it. You found a sarcophagus.
I don't remember.
And it's the type that you would see depicted
Yeah.
with a lot of Egyptians. They would have this very large, curved blade.
Yeah,
not quite a
now I
scimitar.
get it.
Man, I forget what that's called. But anyway, you find that as you go, you find more of these posters of this woman. Some of them talking about the 3 T's that you were talking about: trust,
I'm stuck in hell.
tolerance, and togetherness.
No.
Trust your neighbor.
No.
Yeah. And there are some though, and I will say in one of the rooms specifically, it is a room of an event referred to as the Fall. And it talks about the invading armies of elves. And there are some relics in this room, some books that they reclaimed from elven mages. This is a room recounting, as it says itself on one of the plaques, the fall of humanity.
These are books they stole from elves, right?
Books they stole from elves, yes.
How many are there?
There are 2.
Yoink.
Yoink. Okay. Make sure you're writing this stuff down because I will forget.
I've forgotten what I've had already.
Well, that's
Cutlery,
stuff you should be
Statue
recording.
of Liberty, Declaration of
It's a good
Independence,
thing.
2 magic books.
Yeah.
It's a good thing
2
we have this
books
recorded.
from elves. Yes. That is a
Yeah.
good thing. So you have those. There are other things in this room. One of them in particular is a large bipedal machine with a couple arms. It's very blocky in size, and it's suspended from multiple ropes. It's also painted with various different nature-based iconography. There are leaves, there are elven symbols carved and painted on the side of them. And the plaque for this one essentially tells you during the War for Humanity, the elves essentially took a lot of their weaponry and used it for themselves. And so they...
Is this a
started to do
fucking
things like
mech?
that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Maybe.
I want to see if it works. DM, I want to see if the mech works.
How are you going to try? And then we're going to go
Um,
over to combat, which is going to take a minute.
Probably unsuspend it. Have a look at the controls.
Oh, you want
How
to
it works.
unsuspend it? When I say it's suspended, it's like its feet are on the ground, but like it's suspended so that it doesn't fall over.
I think I know a little bit of machinery since I grew up with a nerd in machinery.
We'll see if the rolls actually mean that. Go
I
ahead.
would love to try and get this thing to work by looking at the controls if they are visible.
They are not visible now, but you can open up the top and get inside.
Oh. Yes, I would love to.
Okay, so there's a hatch. You open it up. It opens. Go ahead and make me a intelligence check.
Intelligence check. I'm going to use my inspiration that I got so many sessions ago. Let's have a look.
Do that after you see the results of the roll, but not before you see if it's a success
Yeah.
or failure.
Yeah, because you don't want to
Okay.
waste it if you just get a natural 20.
Well, the inspiration just gave me a natural 20.
Okay,
So
then you did use the inspiration, but
yes, I did use it, and it's
okay.
a +3. I got a 23.
these controls are alien to you, and many of the symbols even more so, because a lot of the symbols in here are not Elven. They match the symbols and such that are outside in a lot of the writing. But even so, they're very specific, and these are not words you know. So you kind of start fucking with shit and start fumbling around, start pressing things. If it does work, it does not seem to have power.
What's its power source?
I will
I
say
would
with
love a mech.
with that roll, what was the total?
What was that?
What was the total? You had a natural 20, but what was the total?
Plus a 3. It's a 23.
You can't find it.
Damn it. Okay.
You are dealing with
Damn it.
something so alien, and this is not your specialty.
No, it's not. Oh
But
well.
that is I will say, the last room you find down here that's really of note. The rest seem to be like janitor's closets. So while you're doing all of that, we're going to go up to the rest of you. I need you all...
Have fun.
Unless you would like to try to talk your way out of this one last chance, you can. But if you just want to fight, we can just fight. Are we just fighting this? Okay, go ahead and roll initiative. We're going to fight this.
We can't keep it. Alrighty then. I'm probably not going to roll as well as I did, which is sad. But let's see. I did, in fact.
Oh.
I just rolled a
In
natural
initiative.
20 for a total of 22.
Hell yeah.
Plastic surgery.
Seth is faster than me. Undoubtedly, Seth is faster than me.
Uh-huh.
I think that's... Yeah, that's the people who are here, and then Dunless, and then the creature.
Okay, I'm going to send you a message real quick. Because
Oh,
I
no.
had an idea. But it can only happen under one circumstance that I have to ask you about.
Okay.
This is a fuck it, that would be cool moment.
Okay. We both.
Please, I hope this works. Sell it would be so hot.
I will only allow it to happen if that is the case. Okay, I will tell you when. I will say when. And this will be just to help me on that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now I need to type up or roll up the Dunless initiative. There we go. I can speak. That's a heavy ass dice. Dunless, come on, buddy. He used all his good luck fighting you guys.
Oh my god.
He rolled a 3. He has a plus, but he rolled a 3. Seth and Inkyren, did you guys already... who wants to...
Seth is faster than me.
Okay. There we go. And then you... Oh, there we go. So... And then I gotta roll for him. Oh. Surprisingly, Xeno goes first.
Yay.
He got a natural 20, and he has just a slightly higher plus than he needed. Or, yeah, not a higher plus than Seth, but it got him above Seth. He got a 23. Because while he walks shambling, he is big. Okay, there we go. Who am I missing? Oh, I forgot to write Dunless. That's who I'm missing. He's at the bottom.
Can't do this again.
I know. Not again. Okay, and then I just need to really quickly find a specific thing. That's dumb. We're not using that. This? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to do an important thing. So this guy is up first. He is going to ready an action. And that's his action. Bonus action, his legs are going to use their ability here to... Yeah, they're going to scream. So this is not like the same one from before. I need you all, except Consolida, because you're not there, to make a con save.
Oh no. That's not good.
Uh-huh.
This isn't against being charmed, I take it.
It is not. Not this
So
guy.
good to check. It's not terrible, but it's not gonna save. I should put in dice rolls instead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, and Dunless. We'll go over here. Nat 20, we're good. Okay, Dunless is fine. So Seth and in Chiron, you are stunned until the end of your next turn.
I had
Which
a plan for
isn't that long, but it will ruin this turn. As this happens and you are forced to cover your ears and you are rocked to your core as this scream goes off. Okay. That sucks. That happens. But this is one of those abilities he has to roll and see if he gets it back later, which he might not. Okay, so that's that. That's his turn. Seth, you're stunned, but sorry, did I say start of your turn or end of your turn? It was supposed to be
end of your turn.
Okay, I was making sure I said that right so it wasn't confusing. Yeah, end of your turn. So Seth, that's your turn, but it's over. In Chiron, that's your turn, but it's over. Sapling.
Yes.
It is your turn. He is... At this point, he's like 10 feet. 10 feet away.
10 feet.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
I don't want to be that close. I'm
That's fair.
gonna step away.
You're
Probably
going to
like... Because I'm not within, like, opportunity range, am I?
You don't know
If it's
that.
a creature with a long reach, like a big creature like him, you could be. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, we ball.
Okay. He is going to use his reaction, which will drop his... It will drop his ready to action. Because he won't have a reaction to do it, but he is going to use it to try to attack you.
Wait.
So there's a good thing and a bad thing. We're going to go ahead and roll for that. That is going to be a 16. Does that hit?
Yes.
16 will hit. Okay, so then we're going to do... Okay, that's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage as he just brings a fist and just slams you in the back as you begin to move away.
Ow, rude.
I know. But that's it. So you're moving away, and then what are you doing?
I want to whisper at him dissonantly. I need him to make a wisdom save.
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down.
No, Axel. I'm gonna curse him out in shrimp.
Perfect. That is only an 8.
Splendid. So, I will roll damage.
Perfect.
And, oh man, I'm stupid. Now
What?
he has to move away from me as far as he can. I could have just.
Okay.
Oh, I believe he has to use his reaction to do that, which he can't.
Oh,
do.
right, his reaction.
Which he
He can't do it.
That sucks.
Man, I'm not big smart.
Oh, it happens. It happens. Okay. Well,
I can do math.
be
That is 11 psychic damage.
11 psychic. That's good. I mean, even though he couldn't use his reaction to do that, that's still good damage. And he just reaches and grabs his head, and so do all of the others, which causes him to kind of drop a little bit as the others just start trying to like a lot of the legs, I guess you could say, just start slamming their head into the ground, trying to get the sound to stop because they can't use their arms. Okay, that's that. What else? Anything else you can do?
Nope.
All right. Perfect. There's that. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so next up would be, or now up would be Merrick, and then Dunless will be after you.
All right, how far away is this thing?
He is, what did I say? 10 feet. He would be about 10 feet from you as well.
I don't know which weapon I want to use, because that's a free action to use. Oh.
Yeah, switching weapons I count as a free action.
All right. My usual greatsword, the one that I usually have, not the odd one. I'm going to just, take a nice large swing there, close a distance, and try to just get the two front legs or two closest legs that I can. Just try to go through them.
Perfect.
Will I be able to do it, or will stuff start to happen?
So here's a question.
Okay.
If you'd like, you can do a targeted attack at the legs. That would be at disadvantage, but it would be a critical hit if you hit. And it could also cripple his legs. Because with it being a critical hit, you would roll on the table. So it could.
I'll try. I'll try it.
Okay.
I'll try. I should have used a different weapon in that case. But yeah. Okay, so with disadvantage, the first roll is a 21 total.
That'll do it. That'll still hit, so that'll make it a crit.
I should have kept it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know what the second one is.
Is that a natural one?
Yeah, it is.
So do me a favor, I want you to, first off, roll me a flat d20, do not add anything, and tell me what it is.
That's a 15.
15? Okay. Then it is a critical miss, but no catastrophic thing happens. I will tell you what happens, because that was your second hit, right? That was a natural one on. Okay, so go ahead and well, go ahead and so roll up the damage for that first hit and then double it because it was a crit.
Wait, I was attacking with a greatsword, so wouldn't it only just be the one attack because it was at disadvantage? It was a 21 and then an 8. Or are you saying?
Yeah, it's not. We don't have an extra attack.
I thought you were making an extra attack, which you can't do yet. Never mind. So
No,
there's
not
no hit at all. Okay, my bad. I'm thinking you're higher level than you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So You
We got
are
one more
line-
level until
yeah.
extra tech.
One more.
Yeah.
You are lining up for a very good hit, but you do try to get just a little bit better, try to maybe cripple one of the legs. And what ends up happening is it cleaves downwards, and this creature, this one leg, lifts itself out of the way, and you strike the ground. And I'll say, because you rolled a 15 on that, nothing terrible happens, but you are up right next to him at this point, unless you move away, which you could do.
Let's see. I have a few things I can do. Okay, so it's Dunless and Sep. Everyone except Consolidate is here. In
Correct.
Ulrich.
Everyone but Consolida and Ulrich.
The siblings are dead. I mean,
What am I at? You know what? Why not? I'm gonna action surge and then try it again.
Okay.
That actually will hit. That's a 17 plus 7.
That will in fact hit, and that was
I
was doing the disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yes.
Okay.
Unless
yeah, that
there's a
would
way
hit.
to prevent that.
Not that this guy has.
All right.
Yeah, 24. Good.
24 to hit. And that was a still. So that still applies a targeted strike, still going for the leg.
Okay, then
Right.
yeah, if that's still the targeted strike, go ahead and roll me. So this will be a crit. So don't forget, just add up everything like normal, and then times 2 the whole thing.
Okay. 9. That's 18 points of slashing damage.
Very good, very good. Let me write that down. Okay. And then go ahead real quick and roll me the D100, because even though because I'll give it to you here, because this is you attempting to cripple the leg in some way. So I do have another table. I have so many tables for basically injuries, which is actually, if you'd rolled lower on that flat D20 when you rolled the crit, you would have had to roll for one of those. So this is instead rolling for what it'll be for this guy.
So that is a 3 on the D100.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get my table up, because this is one I don't use often. And it'll be a 3. Ow, my eyes.
Oh.
Okay. That is one leg. You cut it off, which will lower his movement speed. And it'll actually lower it to that. Okay, so you have
Woohoo.
effectively not only done damage, but crippled his movement partially. Not in half, but it's removed. I'll say it's removed 5 feet of movement. So there you go. Is that your turn?
Bonus action, I'm going to use Second Wind, because I got a nasty hit from Dunless earlier, and I want to kind of do a little bit to help that.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, it's second wind, get some of that healing back.
That's
get some
a
of that
total
back.
of 10 hit points back.
Very good.
6 plus 4, just in case you want the math. Make sure it's all
Okay.
above board.
I trust you. You're good.
Alright, so that's
Okay.
up to 34 out of 44 hit points. I use that. Those resources are used. That's an action. That's a bonus action. Where is Encheiron relative to?
I believe at this point, Encheiron would be 10 feet from you.
Yeah, because I got away.
Yeah. And you moved up. So yeah, Encheiron would be 10 feet from you, a little further away from this creature.
Are we? We're not fighting on the stairs, right? We're kind of like
No, this is
area.
in the, I believe it would be called like a rotunda.
Okay. It's not like I could, move to get in front of, Encheiron or anything.
I mean, You could.
Like, would block.
You could basically put yourself between. It would be between you and Chiron.
Microwave.
Yeah,
No, probably a phone call.
that's fair.
But yeah,
And yeah,
I
you could
think-
do that.
yeah, kind of doing that. Yeah, so like I imagine he just kind of used the momentum after cleaving through the leg to just kind of quickly turn on heel and move guarding stance near in Chiron, just ready for whatever's going to happen.
Perfect. Okay.
And that'll be it.
That'll work. And so you move yourself there into a guarding stance. Now it's over to Dunless, and then after that'll be Zeno. Dunless, looking at the person that he probably hates the most, he is going to... I need to get a thing up, make sure I do this correctly, because I don't ever use this subclass.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay, make sure you can do this. Failed save. There it is. Okay. He is going to pull out his holy symbol, this statue of this woman that he hangs around his neck. And that'll work. He's going to use his channel divinity Vow of Enmity. I don't believe so. That's a bonus action. Gives him advantage on any attack rolls against the creature for a minute or until it drops to 0. And he is then gonna just go stabbing. So he gets advantage, which is good that he had because that would have been a nat 1. That's going to be a total of 15, which actually does miss. As Dunless rushes forward, he's blinded by anger, and he just stabs out, and this creature kind of just takes half a step backwards, shifts backwards before stepping back, and Dunless misses, but he does have a second advantage, so that was better. That's going to be a 22. And he's going to go ahead and roll that good old damage on this one. And he doesn't have a ton of spell slots. How many does he even get at this level? Okay, you know what? He'll do a second level. Why not? Love paladins. Paladins are great. Plus, again, it's the guy he hates the most. This dude is, if you can't tell by the channel divinity you use, for those of you that know paladins, he's an Oath of Vengeance paladin.
Yeah.
Which I've never played. They're really fun, though, from what I've seen. Oh, why'd I grab that die? It's so hard to read. That's a 3. $17 points of damage. That's pretty good. I had to do math. Okay, first hit, he whiffs. He's blinded by this anger, and he trips up a little bit. But the second hit he delivers with a really powerful blow, and there's a flash of light as it hits. And I believe that's action, bonus action movement. That's his turn. Zeno's looking okay. He doesn't look super hurt as of yet, but it's only been a few attacks in. If anything, he looks like he's studying each of you, figuring out what each of you can do. It's over to his turn, and using some of what he's learned, that each of you are a threat, even those that haven't done anything, potentially a threat, he is going to whisper a few words under his breath, and as his action, he's going to press into the ground, causing the legs to scream their throats almost hoarse. And you see some of the skeletons around the room beginning to move. And I need to roll up a few more, or actually no, they'd go right after him, as a few of these large beasts come to life.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'll say they will go...
We're fighting dinosaur skeletons.
Yeah, you're about to fight dinosaur skeletons. Welcome to D&D.
Yeah!
I actually
I
need to
need
get
a skull, I need a
stats
skull, I
up
need a
for
skull, I need a skull.
them. There we go.
That slays really hard.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just found... Oh, that's awesome. Oh, the
I'm
dinosaur...
scared.
Okay, I just want to shout out something I'm using tonight that I just found. It's a thing called the Dinosaur Manual. Who made this? Who made it? Fuck, I don't know who to... Ah, shit. If I find it, I'll put it. I'll put it in the description. Yeah, I found this shit. This goes so hard. And it has lore? What the fuck? Okay, this is great. I love this.
I was a kid. I was a trains kid. Also DM. I like dinosaurs.
Okay, listen, it don't matter if you were a dinosaur kid or a train kid. You can respect the other side.
Yeah.
They go hard.
Yeah, that was Greek mythology.
Here,
Yeah, we
I'm
need
gonna
to get
say a
the
name of a
space and
dinosaur, and you
astronaut
tell
kids.
me. You tell me if you're scared by this name, because I don't know what this is. Dimetrodon.
Oh.
What's that one do?
What do you want that in it?
Here, I'm grabbing a picture. I want to see what it looks like. And then I'll describe what it
I want
looks
to
like.
cuddle it.
Ah,
Oh, it looks like
I
it's got a
see.
bunch of
This guy.
spines. Yeah, it looks
Oh,
like it's got like a bunch of spines. Yeah, it does kind of look cuddly. But yeah, there's one of those, and then here I'm gonna pick another random one. Yeah, that's fair. Diabloceratops.
Ah, that's the one with the 2 horns instead of the 3, right?
Is that? I'm looking it up. It's got Diablo in the name. Oh, yeah, kinda. It's got like...
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, it
Oh,
looks like
wow.
a Triceratops, but with the 2 horns.
Yeah, that's
Okay, alright, well, we have dinosaurs. Fucking go. So here we
Dinosaur.
go. Dinosaurs. I will say they're going to go right after him on his turn, just for sake of organization here, but they can only use their turn this time to become animated and then start to move towards you. They can't make it the full way there. They got to like shake off the trains, get off the podiums and whatnot. But they are... The Diabloceratops is looking like it's going to charge at you. I'll tell you that. Well, the other one's just kind of waddling in your direction.
okay.
But that's
So
his turn.
angry bulldozer and sentient hedgehog.
Yes. And then Seth is your turn now, and then in Chiron you're up next.
That describes 2 of a party member.
So Seth, what you doing? I hear you scrolling vigorously on something. On a very bright screen from what it looks like.
Seth's sheet. It's very bright.
Ah. Okay. So what are you doing?
I was thinking about doing something special, but no. I think he's just going to go and try to punch the bitch.
Okay, punch the bitch.
It is a 23.
A 23. Okay, that'll hit.
Yes! Fucking max damage.
That's good to see.
For a total of 10 piercing. And then I'm going to take that bonus action to hit him again.
Okay.
Hey, guess what you get to roll?
What?
One of your favorite things to roll, because I just got a nat 20.
You're gonna roll it, but yes.
You
I'm
get to
gonna
roll it.
Heck yeah.
So, fuck yeah. And then it is an 18 total piercing.
Okay.
And what am I rolling? D-hundo?
D1?
Yeah, you're on D100.
Can be 64.
Let me check. 64? That's really funny. So similar to you watched Merrick with the strike, right? You watched Merrick strike out and cleave off one of the legs, and you're like, that's a good idea. Jab, and you jab at just the right point. It doesn't fall off, but it falls completely limp, and his speed is reduced by another 5 feet. So there you go. He is slowly but surely being reduced in movement. What happens if you take out all his legs? Who knows? Okay, so that's that. Seth, are you done?
Yeah, he's done.
Okay.
Not moving.
I have a question. Are his legs more so carrying him, or are they more grafted to his body?
Oh, they are grafted to his body. They are part of him.
Well, I'm still gonna do it because it's fun. As my bonus action first, though, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on our good friend Merrick. That's
Good
plus
idea.
2 AC. Then, are the dinosaurs within 30 feet of me? Because I know the big guy is.
Yes, they would be within 30 feet.
Great. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use my action to turn undead, baby! That's wisdom saving throws from the undead within 30 feet of me.
What is their wisdom? Let me double check. Probably not great.
As I present my holy symbol to...
Everyone's just blasting him with the power of holy.
That's a fail, and I believe that one might be a success from the Diabloceratops. That one got a 17. The other one
That
had
does
an 8.
save. Yeah, that one fails.
Okay.
And if he counts as an undead, he would have to make the saving throw too. I don't know if he counts.
He is not.
Interesting.
And you can tell that because he doesn't even seem to react.
Okay. That means the cuddly one must spend its turns trying to move as far away from me as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of me, and it can't take reactions. And it can only use the dash action to try and escape me.
Okay. Huh. I just thought of what's about to happen.
He's running away at full speed.
If you're running
Evo.
away at full speed, there's a window on the other side.
Oh no.
He's just and out into the waters.
And then and that's me. I'm good.
Okay. Sounds good. That works. That's your turn.
Yep, turn undead.
Okay. It's a good one. It's a really good one. Sapling, you're up now, and then Merrick, you'll be up next.
Hey Val,
Yes.
if you get a chance, can you look at our private messages?
Yes.
Speaking of private messages, you should totally check Seth's chat too.
Damn.
Oh God, so many people.
So many
need
secrets.
Comments.
I have a normal question for you that I can
It's
ask
not a
out
secret.
loud.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Would I be able to effectively throw a dagger underwater from the distance that I'm
Oh, we're not
at?
underwater.
Currently.
Oh,
you're
we're not
not.
underwater.
This area
I'm gonna
is
chunk a
all air.
dagger.
Okay.
But I don't know how to do that.
It's just a normal attack roll. With
Oh yeah,
dexterity.
it's a dexterity-based attack roll. You just have to be within 20 feet of him. If you're outside of that up to a certain distance, it'd be a disadvantage.
Oh, I think I am.
I mean, you can move to be if you're not. You right now you are. You're within like 10 feet.
Oh, right. I can move. I have
You
legs.
have movement.
I'm gonna get right within 20 feet and probably fail anyway. I think that's a 10 to hit.
A 10 to hit?
Yeah.
So you throw the dagger, and it goes whoosh, whoosh,
I've
whoosh
never done
through
this
the air.
before.
And it pierces a part of one of the legs, the one that Seth killed, and it has no effect.
Hooray!
It would have missed, but like, that's more fun. It just does no damage.
Horsey never done this before.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a good attempt. Aim a little higher.
And that's all I can do because I don't have anything to do on a bonus action because I'm a poor planner.
That's fair. But now you know for the future. So there you go. And then Merrick, you're up, and then it'll be done this.
All right. So this thing is okay. This Zeno, where is he is fleeing or moving? Because I had been stood in front generally of in Chiron.
Mhm.
He's not turned. He was
No, he
Oh,
is not turned.
he's not turned.
He was
Oh,
unaffected. One of the undead dinosaurs was. That is such a trippy few words to say in the same sentence. Anyway, continue.
yeah. All right. So, shoot, I don't know what to do now. Okay.
I will give you a little bit of information here. While he is not turned, you can move around within his attack range without provoking an attack of opportunity. You could get on the opposite side of him, which would be a little bit up the stairs, but it would give you advantage on your attack rolls because you would be flanking with Dunless and Seth.
I can move over there.
Yeah, you can get up there because he's not blocking the stairs. He's down on the ground in front of the stairs. You could get up behind him. You'd just be like a couple steps upward, and then basically swing down at him. Now, if you do that, it would give you advantage, which this is just information that not everybody knows. That's why I'm sharing it. If you have advantage and do something that would cause disadvantage, it would cancel out the disadvantage.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna move over there. I want advantage on this attack. I want to try. I want to get the legs.
You want to do another targeted attack?
Yeah.
So you are doing
I
a
want to
straight
use
roll.
I want to use my double-bladed scimitar for this. Just quickly switch over.
Okay.
It's becoming this like whirling dervish of blades.
I'm down for this.
Okay, so the first roll. Wait, no, there's only one roll, because it's
Because it's a straight
Okay.
roll, you have advantage, which cancels the disadvantage.
Well, that's a 14 plus 7 for a 21. I keep rolling that. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a good roll.
So that's that roll. And that would be 2d4 plus 5, which is 5 plus 5. 20 points of slashing damage. If it's doubled and still called a hit. If it's a crit, still.
Yep, if it's a crit, it is the normal damage times 2. So it was 10 total if it wasn't a crit, and then you doubled it to 20?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, that's a good amount of damage, and that leg, again, cleaved completely off, which decreases his movement speed by another 15. He is fast, but he's slowing a lot.
And then we're going to move to another leg, since it's this weapon, use the bonus action to do the other, and quickly bring that weapon around, carrying through the momentum, basically spinning,
Yeah.
trying to see if he can't hit that one. And that one will not hit, because that's a 9 total, a 2 plus
9
7.
total.
Just a,
That sadly won't.
yeah. That's the action and bonus action, but just, happy to have cleaved through this other one. We're gonna be there and just stand ready for whatever's gonna happen. No more movement. That's action, bonus action. That's Merrick's turn, and he's determined.
For sure, and that is there were 6 legs. You've taken out 3 of them. His body is starting to buckle a bit. But he is standing strong. So that is your turn. It's over to Dunless, who's going to attempt to make his attacks. He's also going to try to do kind of what you and Seth are doing, although his weapon's not necessarily super good for it. That's gonna be a miss. He's just blinded by this rage, but I'd say unlike you, Merrick, who uses the anger, he's letting it blind him, and he's getting sloppy. And that's gonna be the oh nope, I read that wrong. That is gonna be 16, which will hit, and he's gonna go ahead and yeah, I mean, this is like his final boss. Basically, he's gonna put another smite on it. That's almost max. What is that? To be. That's gonna be 22 damage. Very good. And with that, actually, I'm sorry, that was a targeted attack aimed at the leg, so that is not 22 damage, that is 44. I did not double that. Which, by the way, fun fact, if I had given him, I thought about giving him a feat at the 4th level thing. If I'd given him Piercer, because Piercer's normal rules are you add an extra damage die, but because we do crits as multiplying instead, it would have been times 3 damage instead of times 2. So if you ever use a piercing weapon, Piercer's a good one. For example, one of my guys is an archer. He took Piercer and Sharpshooter. Dangerous. So dangerous.
Oh, wow.
He also had a +10 to damage, so if he hit, that was automatic 20 plus whatever else he had. It was dangerous. Oh, sorry, automatic 60 plus whatever he had because of the times 3 if it was a crit. He was also a champion, so he crit on 19 and 20. Anyway, reminiscing. Broken builds. And, believe it or not, I built him the wrong way the first time. Like, completely wrong. But anyway, enough reminiscing. Back to killing you. Or trying to. But that is going to eliminate one of the legs as well, decreasing his movement by another, say it with me, 5 feet. That is, you've subtracted 20 feet from his movement. How much he has left, you don't know because he hasn't moved. But that's really good. And he is looking a bit frantic at this point. He's barely supporting himself. And he's looking a bit desperate. That's going to be Dunless's turn. He's not moving, so it's over to Zeno. He is going to, at this point, he had been standing there. I'll say at this point, he had like a book in his hand. He just originally casually kind of looking at. But at this point, he's going to just start swinging. He's going to draw a longsword. He's going to take 1 strike at Merrick. And 2 at 1 strike at Merrick, 1 strike at Seth, 1 strike at Dunless. 1 for each of you.
You have +2 AC. Remember. Seth,
Oh, what? I didn't
you
hear
have
you.
+1 AC.
Oh, yeah, Seth, you have +1 AC. Don't forget.
And Merrick has
Is it-
+2 AC.
Yes, don't forget that when I'm giving out the numbers. We'll do Merrick first. Merrick, that is going to be a 20 to hit. Does that hit with your increased AC?
It would if I weren't going to shield that.
Ah, there you go. Okay. And so you see it coming, shield, and the frantic look in his eye only grows as that attack glances off the shield. He's going to then turn and with his other hand swipe at Seth. Seth does a... Can actually... There we go. It was cocked. Does a... What is your plus to that again? Oh, that's a 24. Yeah. It's your increased AC, this warding bond, cannot protect you from somebody swiping down with a hand as big as your torso and just slamming on your fucking head. And actually, Seth, I need you to make me a deck save, which you're good at.
Seth gets turned into an accordion.
Or actually, I'm so sorry, not a deck save, a strength save. My bad, I was looking at the other
Oh
board.
no.
Not as good.
Seth turns French.
It wouldn't have mattered,
Oh?
Uh-oh.
because that's another
Oh.
natural one.
Ooh.
Gosh. So
That
that's a
hurts.
negative. That is a.
It's just a 2. It's just a 2. Despite the fact that his dump set is strength, he also has proficiency with it.
Yeah.
So that's 2. That would be a 3
A 3. Still not enough, sadly.
because of +1 for Warding Bond.
Plus one, can't forget about it. But yeah, the hand slams you. You are gonna take. What is the damage on this one? It's gonna be 7 bludgeoning damage. Hand slams down,
That
and
is.
then as he pulls the hand up, he is going to close his hand and lift you.
I believe
and
that
you
is
are
3
grappled.
bludgeoning damage because it's halved.
Because yeah,
And I take 3 bludgeoning damage, and I must roll for concentration on Shield of Faith.
This guy
Correct.
just picked up Seth like how I pick up Crash and Oliver.
basically.
Come
And then, yeah,
on.
roll for the concentration on that.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Good.
good.
Okay. Good. Yeah, it just picks you up. You are grappled, Seth. And actually, sorry, you are actually not grappled. You are actually would be considered restrained because of his size. He isn't just holding you in place. He is holding like your arms almost to your sides. So you're considered restrained, which is speed 0, disadvantage on your attacks and dex saves. Incoming attacks have advantage. I'm going to say at this point he's going to then swipe at Dunless, who's also been beating the fuck out of him. The 3 of you have been doing a number. That is going to be a 15, which will miss, because Dunless is built like a tank. Okay, so that's that one attack hit, but it was an attack that has now crippled one of you, so he'll take it. That's going to be his action. Bonus action, I gotta actually see if he gets that back. He did not, so he can't do that again. He's gonna try to run. And he's gonna go past, so he's gonna leave Dunless's range, who's gonna take his reaction. And that misses because Dunless is having terrible luck tonight. It would have been better if you weren't in initiative. Come on, Dunless. He's going to run past. Well, actually, that's really funny. So, Merrick, you're getting like I don't know if you would have chosen to take an opportunity attack, but for the sake of the funny here, I'm gonna say you like readying in case you want to. And he stops right at the edge of your range because his movement speed is only 10 feet now. So he starts to run and he's lumbering, and the bodies that you guys have disabled, the ones that weren't directly cleaved off, and even the ones that kind of were, are still hanging on a little bit, they're getting dragged up the stairs, slowing them down even more than just having the 2. And he's basically dragging himself up the stairs at this point, trying to get away. A trail of blood behind him. And the sounds he's making, he was using a lot of speech. At this point, it's just these guttural sounds. These animalistic sounds. And he's going to go ahead and end his turn there. Go ahead over to Seth.
The dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, you're correct.
One of them.
Dinosaur. The other one's floating in the ocean somewhere.
Well, it literally, about that time, it runs over and just leaps through the window, which, instead of a window shattering, it just goes and just starts floating around outside and just starts floating into the distance.
Another
The
distraction
other
for the people outside.
one, literally. One of them goes, huh? The dinosaur that's still there, though, is going to... That's cool. He's going to go ahead, rush forward, and he's going to attempt to... Can I do both? No, it's only one. Yeah. Hey, and Chiron.
Yep.
He's going to rush forward and attempt to stomp on you. This actually might not hit. That's a 16. I don't remember what your AC is.
That does not hit.
Ooh, okay. It rushes forward, and as you see the shadow before you see the creature, as it goes, and you see the shadow, it's like, oh, and you duck out of the way, and it just slams down in the space where you were. That's going to be its turn. It can only do that. It doesn't have a lot of action economy. But it just breathes in your face. You don't know how it's breathing. It doesn't have a respiratory tract, but it does.
You smell the scent of dead dino dust in your lungs.
I will say that's exactly it. The dust. You get dust blown in your face. From it
Have
being
an
down
asthma
here
attack.
for so long.
Yeah, I do. That was real, but
Yeah. It didn't hit you, but it got you anyway. Okay. So that is its turn. It's over now to... So, Seth, before we go to your turn, two things. First, Zeno. He is on the end of the ropes here. He is looking very badly. And he knows this. And he starts to make this shriek, this guttural sound, and crashing through the window of the ceiling, the dome, which was real glass, by the way. Realizing that now, that was real glass. You see the bodies of a lot of the undead and water pouring in, just beginning to fall and hit the ground hard. You hear cracks, you hear snaps, you hear all kinds of sounds of death. Some of them get up and begin to walk towards Zeno. Some of them don't. The ones that do are going past you guys, so if any of you would like to take an opportunity attack, you can. They are running and they felt close enough that they can get to him in this turn. I would say if there are any of you that have a reaction still and would like to take it, you can. They are walking. There's at least one walking past each of you. So, if you wish, you can. Or if you want to save your reaction, that's an option too. If any, you might be muted.
Muted.
I cannot hear you.
I will, because I'm about to get my reaction back.
Ah, there you go. Yes.
With
Seth,
my
you as
spear.
well, if you would like to. You're about to get your reaction back as well.
Not that I can do anything with it.
No? Not an opportunity attack?
Can't use reactions.
I'm currently restrained.
Oh, actually, disadvantage. You can take wait, hold on.
Well, Seth is also at the destination. Seth's not being
True. That's a good point.
My
I was reaching
a 13.
a 13 that will hit.
Oh, great.
These guys are squishy.
Yeah.
Also, I know we're at time. We are going to be ending here very soon, which is sad because a thing's about to happen that's cool, but that just means we'll start off with the
Ooh,
next
pretty
section.
good. So 6 damage.
6 damage. One of them is dead, which means you have reduced some of the HP that Zeno's going to get back. Which, let me write that down because I need that note for later. They all begin to clamber over across Xenos' body. Begin to just make almost a pile of bodies. And Seth, you are partially buried in that pile.
Eh.
Seth, you have a very unique thing here, so I'm going to describe what you see from your perspective first. You see their bodies, some of them begin to just disintegrate and fall apart, some melt, but all of them begin fusing into Zeno, who begins to look more and more, I should say less and less like a person. His face elongates. He looks more like a creature than a person. by the end of this. And all of you see this, but from the outside. By the end of it, he's a tangled mass of flesh and bone. He is no longer a person. And he stands on legs that are now don't look like people anymore either. But there are many mouths across his body that all begin to wail. And Seth, he is going to use a legendary action. He's going to lift you in many hands. Some tentacles, some not even hands. And he's going to... I need you... What is your AC again?
18.
I mean, you asked me for this, so that's why this is happening. Plus 1, 18, plus 1, 19?
I dare
That could
you. I
make a
didn't
difference.
ask you.
That was a 19 on the die. He's going to make a strength roll against that. That was an 18 on the die with a higher plus than he needed. What's your current HP?
That's a very good question. 34.
34. Okay. See how much damage this is. And then I might need to do some reading. It's going to be 34. So half of that would be 17.
I'm down.
He got 20 damage. Because he has you restrained, so he gets an extra damage die on that. He's going to tear your leg off. He has you restrained, gets an extra damage. Yeah, hold on. And he is just going to grab and tear. Yes.
How much damage was it total?
That was 20.
20 damage? Okay, I'm not dead. I'm not down.
He's not
yeah,
dead!
'cause half is
He's
taken
not dead!
So you
I
take
do
half.
almost fall over, though.
Yes.
Are you maintaining concentration?
I
Oh,
do
yes,
need to
check
check that.
My main
I'm gonna say
concern here
something.
is the squishy boy.
Running is always an option, but that'll end up being decided next session. Because one more thing is going to happen, and then we will be probably ending for tonight.
Oh, yep, I dropped concentration as well.
That
There goes
sucks. Make sure you mark that down for later, for next time. At about that time, another sound of large footsteps approaches. As a large metallic beast on 2 legs runs up the stairs from the basement. Hey,
Gotta get ready to
Consolida,
fight that too.
Hi, hello.
you've arrived.
Yes, I have.
That's so cool.
And all of you just see this metallic thing, and it's probably like, I know Dunless at the very least is sitting there going, fuck. Because he doesn't know it's you.
10 foot. Looks kind of like this.
Yeah.
Just emerges from the staircase.
Yeah.
There's no way to tell that Kinsella was in there, is there?
No.
Nope.
It is.
Well-
it is basically like that. Yes. I will say both of the arms themselves are just large fists. There is a like shoulder-mounted cannon type thing.
Yeah.
And the iconography all over it is again a lot of plants and things like that. Very nature-based iconography and elven symbols, although it is Old Elvish.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we're going to go end for tonight's session. And because of time, purely because of time. And then we will go ahead and catch up from here, finish the combat at the beginning
By the way,
of next session. Yes.
what you needed to down me was 26. Because I have 13 HP remaining.
Yeah. All right.
I now have 3 HP remaining.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in Chiron, you feel like you just got your leg torn off, but it's still there.
Oh.
Ouch.
Well, thank you all for stopping
When your
by
hip
tonight.
pops.
Thank you. See you next time.